my gosh.
Highways.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That driving experience,
rough.
Just witnessing that even from a shuttle is crazy.
Yeah,
they have Uber and
nuts.
stuff down there and everything, but
still, even those guys.
Yeah, different world down there for sure. But I had a great time in Punta Cana. We'll get to the trip. You guys can always interact on the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965, 913-586-7965. Video stream up and running on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook as well. You guys got to fill me on anything I missed as well, because I was keeping an eye on Twitter a little bit, and down there they were fired up about the home run derby because Junior Caminero, who's from the DR, was in it. So that was on TV. There was a really cool watch party for the World Cup that they had on resort, which was neat to see. Plenty of Argentina fans were there. But you got to tell me like what I missed. You guys can fill me in. Cody and I haven't talked in a week or so. I know he's back tomorrow. Who knows what new idea he suckered us into. All these kind of things, you guys have to fill me in if I miss that. But I do want to start with the World Cup, which I'm bummed out it's over, man. What a 5.5 week stretch we had. Not only just because it was in Kansas City and successful, to say the least. I mean, we could not have asked for a better showing for our city, which was just awesome. But in general, even yesterday in the final match, and of course Spain ends up winning the World Cup, that entire 5.5 weeks was one of the cooler things we've had in a while. And we don't have to rehash every little detail of it again, as I'm sure you guys talked about the Kansas City element last week, but meaning the stories and the memories that people had, and seeing everybody come together, and just, it was so cool to see on social media the different clips of interviews and people that were genuinely excited to be in the United States and experience Kansas City or experience Seattle or experience Dallas, any of these other host cities. I'm bummed it's over though, man. Like it was a fun 5.5 weeks.
It was, and Kansas City proved they could handle it. I mean, that was the question. Kansas City handle this small market, can handle this. Well, you know what? When you've had the All-Star game in 12, when you've had the parades, when you've had the Chiefs run, when you've had the NFL draft, yeah, Kansas City can handle it. So what can't they handle after this? That's the question. Kansas City set the bar now.
We can handle everything, man.
Yeah, there's nothing you can look at and say, whoa, could they handle that or not? There's not that question anymore. I think gradually this thing started building up in 2012, and Kathy Nelson took it and ran with it and brought an NFL draft to the city. Then we get the World Cup in Kansas City. Now the question is, how many more World Cups will we get, which will probably be more at this point than with the Chiefs and their plans for the Super Bowl in the future and college football playoff national title games. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see, once that stadium opens, see the national title game here in college football and or Super Bowl. I think this is the tip of the iceberg, but Kansas City pulled it off. You had 4 teams staying here. England liked it so much they stayed right up until the third place game they loved so much.
I did see the photo of Bellingham and all those guys at Joe's.
I'm shocked it took them so long, unless they already went there before. They had to. They were here over a month. You would think they'd go
I think they went multiple times.
Oh, I was going to say, they'd have to go multiple times because Joe's on one of the last nights they were here. Come on, man. They were here for like a month and a half. I'm sure they went several times.
But you said it a second ago. I always thought, and I don't know where you guys were at, when the World Cup was announced that it was coming to Kansas City, and we were all excited that we got the bid. And even, 5.5 weeks ago before, and we were saying, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience in our city, and, you got to find a way, if you can afford, to go to a match or at least go to Fan Fest and all these different things. And I still stand by that it was, an incredible experience, and hopefully you got it to be part of it. But after seeing how much we crushed it here, how much the U.S. as a whole, not talking about the national team, I'm talking about just hosting it, how well everybody did, I'm convinced we're going to get it here again, not just the United States, which everybody's already speculating about 2038, which would mean it would get here a lot quicker than any of us thought. But I always thought, all right, it comes back to the U.S., but Bink, I don't know if Kansas City gets it again. I now think we're getting it again. That's how much we killed it. So I'm almost expecting that much sooner, and I always thought it was a once-in-a-lifetime. I don't know if it's going to be once-in-a-lifetime anymore.
I don't know either. It's just like I said earlier, Alex, one of those things that, the Chiefs and their plans with the Super Bowl and everything else, but I wouldn't be shocked to see anything come to Kansas City within the next 10 years. I think the bar's been set. They've proven they can handle everything, and the rest will be history. It'll be easy to get bids here in Kansas City. It's so much so, it used to be difficult to lure some of the NCAA championship events to Kansas City. But hell, if they went to Frozen Four, they went anything, they'll get it, because all you have to do is walk into the meeting and say, draft and World Cup, and then sit down. I liken it oftentimes, Alex, to Hall of Fame voters from the media that go in that room and try to sell you on voting for a certain player. You're like Will Shields that have, people selling for the media that covered him. But, like, there's just certain guys. Like, you just walk in and say their name. Like, you walk in, Tom Brady. Then you sit down. Joe Montana, Jerry Wright. Sit down. You don't waste your time with anything else. You walk in and say draft and World Cup. You don't say anything else.
I mean, there truly is no event we can't host.
There's none.
I mean, we have quite the resume as a city now, and I think the United States as well had a good foot forward with how we handled the World Cup. And so, I think we're going to have this thing in 12 years again in Kansas City as well, and go through that entire process. But yesterday, what did you guys think of the match? I'm sure you watched. The third place match on Saturday, I'll get to later. I can't wrap my mind around this third place game stuff as an American, but we'll get to that. As far as yesterday, all right, the first half wasn't maybe the most entertaining, but Spain just dominated Argentina throughout. They deserved to win this thing yesterday. They were the best team throughout the tournament. And, as much as we maybe wanted to see Messi win, maybe some people did, for history, we got history on the other side because Lamine Yamal, at 19 years old, has already accomplished as much as anybody could possibly do. He's got more accomplishments as a teenager in sports than anybody has ever had in their entire life, period. No, there's no other teenager in sports that has accomplished more than he has already. Like, I'm talking about LeBron and everybody. Nobody else has won what he has won on the global stage at his age. Nobody.
It's just been last year he was like filling out finals and stuff like this when he's with the national team for his high school. So he was still doing that high school stuff. I was just trying to remember, like, when I left high school, that age, like for college and to be on the national stage. So there's a lot thrown at you right there at once. And I think they expected Messi-type things with him at this point, but the team is just the team. They're just a solid team all the way around. They didn't need their stars. Like, they literally didn't need their stars because everybody in that team was a star. The goalie was a star. The defense was a star. They had, 7 shutouts in the World Cup? They gave up 1 total goal. If they're up by 1 goal,
this never happened before.
The game's done because they would have to double at that point. You think, all right, would Messi come back? Well, he would have to double. Now, credit to him, if he would have gone out there and done it and scored 2 goals, which Spain with the whole World Cup only giving up 1 and he would have gotten 2, but he didn't. They tried to take him out of the game. That's exactly what they did. But that defense, unreal for what they did to Argentina.
Yeah,
I mean, they didn't give me shots on goal during the game. They had like 1 or 2.
Yeah, it was complete dominance.
It was just they just weren't letting them close.
Drew texted during the game yesterday. We were saying just about the play of course of Argentina's goalkeeper during the match, and then ultimately, of course, at some point it becomes too hard. But I think there was a stretch there where all of a sudden you're like, hey, if this gets to PKs though, then I actually thought if it got to PKs, Spain was going to lose. If it got to PK, Spain would have lost.
Same thing. So
Argentina would have won.
Those things.
Yeah, and of course that's why they play extra time and you're a man down and everything. But somehow it was only 1-0 until extra time. I don't know how it even. I mean that's what's so impressive as well. But Spain gets it done, and I don't know. I thought the entire World Cup, including that match, still. Yeah, I know we like scoring, and if you wanted that, I guess that was the third place game for you. But otherwise, I thought this was such a successful World Cup. Everybody was kind of telling us ahead of time like the expansion was going to water down the product and lead to bad matchups. It didn't do that at all.
Well, you saw what they went expanded to, didn't you?
64, right?
Yeah. So
let's not do that.
It went from
it's 32. Happen, though,
it went
I think,
from 32.
Don't you?
It went from 32 to 48. They already added 16 games or 16 teams for this. Can you imagine expanding again? Like, this was a major expansion when you go from 32 to 48. You start adding more teams.
Yeah, I think everybody.
Of course, it's TV ratings, it's money, it's everything else. I get it.
It ended up working out. We're working out well, but yeah, I would say overall it was really good. I think, especially just beyond the Kansas City aspect of it too, just the amount of people who, and we talked about it a little bit last week, Gold, when you were out, just the amount of people who have become more interested in the sport itself. Like, I'm sure we'll get to it at some point. Like Mac and Cody have been talking about picking a Premier League team to follow, or teams in Europe to follow. And, Bink has talked about it a little bit too, like being able to expand the desire to watch the product. This has really helped. And Spain now 2 for 2 in the finals too. They've only made it twice and they've won it both times. So yeah, shout out to Spain. Obviously, it feels like it's a bigger, I'm not going to say it's the biggest event in the world, but it feels like it is, just in terms of you're playing for your country. and all those other things that come along with it. Because obviously, like that and the Olympics are the two biggest things from a world, national, worldwide stage, if you will. It feels like the World Cup and the Olympics are the two biggest events that you could get, and the fact that it was here, obviously, but the fact that it went well too, like I think just all across the board. The matches were very exciting. It was exhilarating. There was nothing that really went wrong here while they were hosting it. All signs point to the U.S. being able to host it again, or North America being able to host it again here in 2038, or at least very, very soon, if not then.
But for the sports fans here in America, we're used to it because the Olympics, and you saw Team USA win gold in hockey, and then, of course, you were traded to the WBC, and U.S. going all the way to the championship game, and then the World Cup coming. So it was like team gold medal, Team USA, going for the gold this whole time. So you go from Olympics to WBC to World Cup. This has been one of those tremendous years where it's just
of course the U.S. men's national team did not.
They didn't
go.
They didn't go, but the excitement for them because it kind of parlayed itself off the hockey team and what the baseball team did. But I think you were here maybe a little bit before you went on vacation, Alex, about because it was a topic nationally where they said, "Oh, would you rather have Messi or elite quarterback down the stretch in the fourth quarter?" And it was a legitimate debate with people. But here in Kansas City, we looked at it and said, "Well, I'd always want to have Mahomes. I mean, nothing against Messi or anybody, but I'd rather have a quarterback that touches the ball every single play."
It's hard to compare the two sports.
It is, and I see that. You see that. But nationally, they were talking about that. Yesterday was at Exhibit A because the quarterback does get to touch the ball all the time. Spain was making sure Messi wasn't touching the ball. Like, Messi's a great player, but if they eliminate him actually getting chances, which he did find a way there in overtime to have a few chances, which they're probably holding their breath when Messi was shooting because it was like, man, he's going to do it again. But he didn't. But that's what having a quarterback in the fourth quarter. So I know that argument was out there for a little while because of Messi's greatness. But
if he would have won, Bink, I think the conversation at least was kind of sparked up a little bit beforehand.
He would have sparked up again.
If he would have won, is he the best athlete of his generation? That includes LeBron James. Like, is he the best athlete, hands down, point blank, out of his generation?
Yeah, and then
Djokovic, all the other, all of those people, Serena. Like, is Messi actually the best athlete of his era? Is still a conversation to be had, but if he'd have won yesterday, I think that that would have absolutely been like number one talking point today for a lot of people.
I think so, and then that gets into the difference between most decorated athlete and best athlete, right? Because nobody's claiming Messi is the most athletic person on planet Earth during his generation, right? This is not discounting his athleticism, but there are players, and certainly some of the names you listed off that are more athletic. Tom Brady's not the most athletic, but he's one of the most accomplished athletes ever.
Yeah.
Obviously, got more rings than any other quarterback. So that you always can get in the weeds on that. We'll get back into this. Some people were pushing back on my point. I think one of them was a decent comp when I said Lamine Yamal, to me, no other teenager in sports has accomplished as much as him. Someone said, what about Phelps? How many gold medals did he win before he was 20? That's a fair comp. I would argue that the World Cup is even bigger. I understand like the Olympics, but I would argue considering Yamal not only won a World Cup at 19, but also, I know we don't care about here as much, but he won Euros when he was, 16 or 17, whatever it was. So that's the Phelps one I'll listen to. I think the Phelps one's strong. Someone mentioned Tiger Woods. And what did he win? I'd have to go, I'll be honest, and go back and look. How many majors did he win before he was 20? Did he?
I think he was at Stanford for a while.
Teenager-wise, it was not.
So I don't think that Tiger Woods is actually the comp. I think the best pushback to me saying Yamal would be the texter that said Michael Phelps.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue the World Cup's bigger.
Phelps is unreal, man. Phelps, most accomplished.
Tiger didn't win a major before he turned 20.
Well, then it can't be Tiger.
I would say Phelps and Lamine Yamal are the two ones. Yeah, that would be the argument.
I'll tell you what, he definitely had the pressure on him because that's all they did is talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everywhere. The billboards, pregame, everything was always talking about him.
I mean, I think
he didn't ask for any of that, but that's exactly what they did.
I think some of that though goes back to the photo bank, with Messi and him. Like it all
just
kind of
absurd.
Yeah, it all kind of led up to this one, and then they had an embrace after the match was done as well. That was very cool to see.
But they ran with it, though. I mean, they put a lot of pressure on him. He certainly had it.
Coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll get to some more World Cup observations, including something that happened before the final yesterday and then at halftime. That's coming up in just a little bit. But it is good to be back, as I said, from Punta Cana. Appreciate Bink for filling in last week. And I teased it a little bit a few minutes ago. Overall, the trip was great, Bink. Had a great time. Went with a couple friends. Had never been to Punta Cana. Beach was great. Pool was great. We went to this place called, if anybody's been to Cancun or Punta Cana, you maybe have been or heard of this place called Coco Bongo. This seems right up your alley, Bink. Coco Bongo. This is right up your alley. Anyway, it's a club / like show. So I would say for 10 minutes, it's like a club atmosphere, right? There's tables. There's obviously, your typical club music. And then they would have different shows within it. So, for example, they had, a show for Freddie Mercury, Michael Jackson. They had a Spider-Man. Green Goblin is like also a mix of Cirque du Soleil. So they had basically Spider-Man and Green Goblin flying through the sky. They had this Beetlejuice thing. They had it's a whole show it goes on from 8:45 at night till 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning. It was a really cool experience. If you go there and you have a chance to go, if you go to Punta Cana or whatever, I encourage you to go. It was a really cool thing. But the story is, so we're there, and look, the dollar goes pretty far in Punta Cana, right? Just the exchange rate and everything. So we say, screw it. We decide to get a table. Okay. It was not that expensive. So we get a table, which made it so we didn't have to stand the whole time, and we got a bottle, whatever. Okay. So we're there like an hour or two, and all of a sudden I notice there's this woman that is like standing to our left, like up. So we have our table, and then right behind us, there's just like this, step that people were lining. You could stand there. Okay. So she's there, she's dancing, whatever. Like an hour or two later, so this is probably 11:30 or midnight at this point in time at the club. And she starts talking to me. Now, to her credit, for someone she's Dominican and Brazilian, I find out later, but she was speaking English. And so we were having as good of a conversation as we could possibly have, knowing that the language barrier there a little bit, okay? So we're having a conversation, all this. My radar's immediately up, though, because there's two guys further down in front of us, okay? And my first thought, I'll be honest, is that she might be a prostitute, Bink. That was my first thought. The way she was talking, you never know. Okay, that was my first thought.
That's a good opening line.
Well, that was my thought. So I'm very cautious as we're talking. Whatever. Eventually, we keep on talking. Share Instagram profiles or whatever. She's a model in the Dominican Republic or whatever. So she's gorgeous. Okay. Anyway, so we're talking. And then it's 1:15, 1:30 or whatever. We leave because they have like a bus because we're off resort. So remember, we're in the Dominican Republic. You're not really supposed to go off resort. But for this, they had a whole transportation that was arranged for us. So I leave. She messages me like at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever saying, oh, we should hang out again. I'm like, well, I'm leaving Friday, all this kind of stuff. I get back to our resort, wake up. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning at this point. She's like, oh, here's where I live. You can go to the beach here. We can meet up and all this stuff. And I'm like, absolutely not. We messaged back and forth for a while. I'm like, you can come to the resort. Feel free, come to the resort then. But it's all gated and stuff. You can't get into these resorts for security reasons. Yeah. I'm convinced, Bink, that I was going to go and get robbed or worse if I would have showed up. Now, some of you were going to text in and tell me that I'm an idiot for not going. I think I was very smart for not going. I think I came very close to getting kidnapped or robbed, Bink. If this was the United States, different conversation. I would have gone to her apartment.
No, the thing is, Drew and I would have on national news. They would talk about a Kansas City kid or guy, you're not a kid, radio host, missing in the Dominican Republic. That's what we would have been talking about today. Yeah. Alex went missing. That's what we'd be talking about today.
Yeah, no, I mean,
you made the right call.
I think so. Absolutely. You can't just go to a random in a random country, go to just a random apartment, no matter how.
And she had no desire to come where you were.
No, well,
she claimed
she didn't know she could get in, and I actually think that's true. I don't think she could have made it in the resort.
But
I'm guessing this is some scheme that she might have.
Yeah.
You notice she has not. Did I show you the photo? She, of course, has not messaged since. Yeah. Just so you know, okay? Like, she's a real person. I can show you on Instagram. But no. This whole thing. I'm telling you, they were trying to set somebody up. I'm not an idiot.
You could have gone to the gate or whatever and brought a guest in. I mean, that's the way.
Oh, by all means, she could have come to the resort. Absolutely. I would have been fine to see what happened. But there was no way I was going off resort.
It was on to the next, Alex. On to the next.
Someone says, what do you think the ransom money? Well, they would have found out I don't have any money. And so they would have been very disappointed. I would have been beat up probably. I would have been screwed because they would have expected. Because people down there liked my last name, including the airline check-in person at the Punta Cana airport. They said, oh, Oro. And they did the money signs. Like, I host a radio show.
It's a difficult call, but it was the right call by you because actually a smart call by you because a lot of people don't end up that way. And honestly, we'd probably be sitting here today going, "Where the hole's gold."
Or I would have had a crazier story about getting robbed.
Yeah.
One of the two things would have happened there.
Yeah.
This is the Dominican Republic, man. I didn't so the resort area is beautiful, but the shuttle ride from the airport to the resort, I've seen photos, we've heard about it, but just the drive in, man, it's rough. The drivers are crazy down there. The drivers are crazy down there.
100%. That's what they say. I don't know, but everybody says it's not a place to drive.
Someone says you look like an easy mark. I will say in the club, we were one of very few Americans at Coco Bongo, and I might have been the tallest person in there.
Well, it's another reason why you were targeted.
I think so. Well, we also had a table.
You stuck out like a sore thumb, man.
Probably so. But I got weird vibes because I told you at first I thought she was maybe just, But I think we made the right call. The text line says, no way they were trying to kidnap you and hold you for ransom. Yeah, that's what I think was going to happen. That's what I think, Bink. Bink, you would have liked Coco Bongo, man. That would have been all up in you. Drew, that would have been Bink's. But Drew would have loved Coco Bongo. Drew would have definitely fit in.
So. Drew would be out there cutting it up, man.
Yeah, there was one part, so I screwed up at one thing there, though. I did. I could have been part of the show for a second. I screwed up. I said no. But I didn't know what. So they come up to me, one of the workers there, and they go, "Hey, is it a special occasion?" And we were saying no. And they're like, "Well, you want to be part of the show? It's free." And I'm like, I don't trust this either. So I said no. They're like, you just have to do that. You're going to be part of the show. Remember, they had already had other people that had to go up on stage and do stuff, and I was not going to do that. I also hadn't been drinking enough at that point in time, so there was no chance I was going to do that. And turns out all I needed to do was just stand there, and they had this woman fly through the air and basically just come up to you and kiss you on the cheek. I could have done that. I could have just stood there, but they didn't tell me that's what it was.
What if you were going to be the one flying through the air?
No, they were. Nobody flew through the air. Nobody flew through the air whatsoever. But they have them. Someone said they've been to the one in Cancun. Yeah, I heard the one in Cancun is much bigger, like the Punta Cana or the Coco Bongo place.
Do you have any idea what kind of call you made being the right call? Do you have
I know.
Any idea?
Also, let's be real. That just also doesn't you just randomly come up and just start talking to me randomly in the other country. I'm not stupid.
Why, if you drinks in you, a beautiful woman, you're like, eh.
Someone says you would have ended up on a milk carton. Yeah, there's a chance. There's a real chance that would have happened. So anyway,
national news.
It was a great time. I got some other things I can bring up as well that happened in Punta Cana, but I figured you enjoy that. Someone was giving me a hard time about the photos from the trip. I'm assuming I'll wait for Cody to address that. I'm sure he'll give me a hard time for one of the photos I took on the trip. I'll wait till he's back on the show then. But up next, let's get into some Chiefs football. We are 1 week away from heading up to St. Joe. Who's got the most on the line for their career starting in a month and a half or so? We'll get to that next year on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
What to do today? There's boating, fishing,
at Jackson County Parks Plus
golfing,
Rec,
sailing, skiing, picnicking.
there are countless ways to make your day.
Canoeing, hiking, biking.
And you just
swimming.
found your spot right here.
Camping. Yeah, camping. I'll camp at Lake Jacomo or Longview Lake or maybe Blue Springs Lake. Hit the beach at Longview Lake. Oh, they're all so close to
Jackson County Parks Plus Rec. Miles of smiles, minutes away. Learn more at makeyourdayhere.com.
Hi, I'm Carter.
And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out.
Leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. Bald.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I focus on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
Jason Aldean. Songs About Us Tour 2026. Powered by Patriot Mobile. This Saturday night, Morton Amphitheater. With Chase Matthew. And Mackenzie Carpenter. Jason Aldean. On sale now at livenation.com. Jason Aldean. Live.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Whether you're commuting to work or heading out for a fast coffee break, getting an auto insurance quote is just a tap away. With AAA, you're always connected, so you can focus on the road ahead. Rest easy knowing AAA's got you covered, no matter where life takes you. AAA, we're always with you. To start your quote, visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Hey, it's Brew. Between my radio show, filming content, editing videos, and trying to stay connected with family, reliable Wi-Fi isn't really optional anymore. I just need it to work. And that's why I like that with Xfinity, you get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years, guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, Xfinity makes getting connected simple with same-day Wi-Fi so you can get online in minutes. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Brought to you by Duke's Real Mayo.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about award-winning chefs, yes, chef, and why they choose Duke's Mayo. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, we're just getting going here on a Monday. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Drew Nixon, producer of the show. Jay Binkley in for Cody today. He'll be back tomorrow. A lot of texts coming in. Jay Southland, host of his text line, 913-586-7965. A lot of people, this part did not cross my mind, Bink. A lot of people were saying that my organs were going to be harvested. I just thought I was going to get held at gunpoint and robbed. I didn't know this. And someone sent me a link.
Could have happened.
That apparently there's a major black market for kidneys in Latin America. So people were convinced I was going to have my kidneys taken out of my body and sold.
Well, you made the right call.
Horrifying.
You made the right call.
That sounds horrifying. We'll get back to Punta
that's
Cana later on in the show. Let's talk some Chiefs football. We are 1 week away from us heading up to St. Joe, and our friends over at Arrowhead Pride, I saw they did a write-up on some of the Chiefs players that they thought had the highest career stakes, most to lose, most to gain, however you want to phrase it, for this upcoming season. They said number one for them was Jalen Moore. And I get it. I understand their thought process on Jalen Moore. If he goes out there and has a bad season or gets benched at any point, he'll probably never start again. He's already a player that has not started a full season in his NFL career to begin with. I think he'll be the week one starter at right tackle, despite some of the offseason noise from fans and social media in particular about Esapole or even others that could step in. So I think Jalen Moore, of course, has a lot to gain and lose for this season. It's the final year of his contract. If he balls out and has a nice year, maybe he gets another deal here in Kansas City. If not, he gets another deal somewhere else. So I get that being the answer. I think there's maybe 3 names in particular you can make a case for that have the most at stake here. The other name I'll throw out there, Bink, I think it's Xavier Worthy. I understand he's got multiple years remaining on his rookie deal. But last year, 3 plays in, we all know the shoulder injury. He's playing all year with this harness. He can't hold his arm higher than, lift his arm higher than his shoulder and all that kind of stuff. And also had maybe an ankle injury and other stuff going on during the season. I viewed it as somewhat of a lost season for him because of that. But it's year 3, and it's fair for people to want to see it now. It has to happen now. You don't get 5 years to figure it out in the National Football League. And so this is a massive year for him. I do look at last year with the injury, with the wide receiver coach problem, and say, hey, I'm willing to put that one aside, and I still think there's another level to his game. But I think he has a ton at stake. If he goes out there, Bink, and does turn into a 850, 900-yard guy, if that happens, well, we're talking about him in a completely different way in 2027, and he's one of the only few wide receivers under contract in 2027 on this roster. Maybe it changes your feeling about what they have to do in the offseason, versus if he has 600 and something yards, then he isn't that much different than McCall Hardman. I think he is, but I'm just saying that's the path that he would be headed on. So I'm still very bullish on Xavier Worthy, but he's got a ton at stake this year.
He does, and it's also like, are you going to be good enough to where if Rashee Rice doesn't come back to Kansas City, which is a great possibility, are you good enough to be in the stable if they go out to the draft and draft a receiver or bring in a free agent, because they don't like to do that because it's a ton of money. You're looking at about $30 million a year for going out and getting a top free agent coming in. But are you good enough for the Chiefs to rely on you? Like, if you doing enough production, can you run the routes in the middle? Can you get back to what you were running deep routes at 9 route, the vertical going downfield? He's got a lot to prove. Like, what are your value? What is your value? Because you mentioned it. Just he and Tyquan Thornton and Jalen Royals, of course, will be under contract.
Sure.
And Cyrus Allen, but we don't know about how
complete
good those
wild
are.
Cards.
But yes, he's got something to prove. He was on the right track his rookie season. Midway through the season, early in the season, it was time to grow, time to develop. He had a tough time, catching the ball inbounds or not, the time and space of where he was. Then all of a sudden, Rashee Rice gets hurt. Hollywood Brown was supposed to be the guy to kind of lead him along the way because he did a lot of similar things. They were both undersized type guys, but he's hurt for his preseason game. So, yeah, you had valuable camp with Hollywood Brown, but all of a sudden, you're the main dude. And you know what? They ended up going to the Super Bowl that year. They didn't win, but he led the Chiefs in postseason yards and catches at 155 in the Super Bowl. I was excited to see him. I think when you earmark guys you want to watch going into 25 seasons, I'm going to see what Xavier Worthy, because he really showed something, along the way last year. What are we going to see? And then, boom, Brazil happened in play 3, and he just never was the same. Then the ankle just wasn't And he was asked to do things that were different from him because he was brought in. Now, at Texas, he ran everything. He did all the routes. He led that team in receptions and yards for 3 straight years when he was at Texas. So he could do everything. But he wasn't asked to do everything here. So if he can get back to being, that vertical space speed guy, and then Ken Walker to kind of alleviate some of that pressure by, the safeties and everything, worried about your running game now because you made attention.
Yeah, you would like to think that should open some things up down the field.
It'll open things up for Kelsey, too. Kelsey's probably extremely happy. He was very happy when Rashee Rice came back because that took pressure off Kelsey because all the pressure was on him earlier in the year. Things started opening up more when Rashee Rice got back in. Now you had the running game. But, yeah, so Worthy has a lot to prove. I wouldn't put him at number 1, but definitely all those are good choices.
Is there another name, though? I mean, there's another name. There's an obvious name because of his own doings.
I think the player with the most to gain and lose, both financially, professionally, is Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy that was the number 1 receiver. You're talking about a guy that won a ring. You're talking about a guy that the Chiefs relied on as a rookie, which is tough to do under Andy Reid's system, but he was the second leading receiver in yards and catches his rookie year, only behind Puka. It was Puka, then Rashee Rice. It was ahead of everybody. And then you expected more than the injury happened in year 2 where he runs into Mahomes there in L.A. in game 4. He's gone for the year. Then, of course, the suspension now. But he had to sit there, and all these guys were getting new contracts that had spent 3 years in the league. This was his time to get that money. And he wasn't able to do it. He wasn't able to get the Nebraska Furniture Mart type ads or, even the local dealership wasn't able to do anything. Now, forget about the Gatorade, Oakley, State Farm, those type of deals that Mahomes gets. But even like the secondary ones, all the money he passed up, this is his money time. This is year 4. He has a ton to get. He goes out and gets over 1,000 yards, gets 1,200 yards.
Somebody will pay him.
Somebody will pay him. That's the way they do it. They paid Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce did not have the off-the-field trouble.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
But he only had 52 catches, the most catches he's ever had in a year. But it shows you the going rate for receivers. It doesn't need Christian Watson. As much as I liked him when he came out here, he's always hurt. He just got a mega contract with the Green Bay Packers. So guys are getting paid at the position. He's not at this point. That's why he has to go out and prove himself. I actually think the Chiefs are in a very advantageous situation that they have a receiver that let's say they gave Rashee Rice a ton of money, last year or did before the, because year 3, they're able to do it. Pretend like he didn't go to jail or whatever. And they gave him that extension going forward to this year. Well, you're never 100% sure what kind of player you're going to have. That already got the security, the money in the bank, and stuff like that, but he doesn't have it.
Yeah, this is why I would never give him a contract.
So, exactly. But when he's with Mahomes and Reid, the justification for him to go out and have a monster year, that's why it's perfect for the Chiefs. Like, this guy going out and succeeding not only helps him, but it helps you as well.
Oh, I agree with the motivation for him this year. This is why
he's got more motivation than anybody.
I've said 5-10 times in the last 3 months. I think Rashee Rice is going to have 1,200 yards this year. I really do. I think he's going to have a great year.
If he stays healthy.
The point that you made 30 seconds ago though about the contract, that's been my stance though. I don't trust him post contract. Let somebody else deal with that after. This year though, he's on the field as much as possible. I'm getting all the targets his direction. He's going to be my workhorse in the passing game. I'm going to maximize everything I can out of him for this particular season. And for his sake, he can earn himself some money. Sure. For the Chiefs' sake, they can get as much out of him as possible. I know what's going to happen, though. I've said it in January, Bink. I feel like he's going to come off a good year. We're going to be sitting here in January, and people are going to talk themselves into saying, well, actually, look, he didn't get in any trouble for 5 months, and he had 1,200 yards, and I'm good with that. I'm just telling you, I have.
You're right.
We've all been around this before long enough. We've been around sports long enough. We know how this plays out, and fans suddenly can turn a blind eye. I will tell you right now, and Drew's got the audio saved multiple times already. He can have 1,200 yards. I'm predicting that as well. I can tell you, I will not in January be telling you that I suddenly think they should sign him. I am on the record as saying this should be the last year. And by the way, that's not changing whether he has 1,200 yards or 1,500 yards or 800 yards.
It's really weird, the scope of Rashee Rice when he came back. And you'll probably agree with this. When he first came back, he was nails, man. He comes back, hits that back shoulder fade with Mahomes. Everybody said, well, that's the connection they had, all those times down in Texas. He's like, whoa. His first 4 or 5 weeks, he was like the number 1, number 2 fantasy option at wide receiver. He was great. And then it was a tale of two halves when he came back from the suspension because then it became drop passes. He wasn't running the right routes. He was having trouble breaking man coverage. All these things were not really there the first 4 or 5 weeks that he came out, and he was awesome. And then all of a sudden you start thinking, well, could this guy be a guy for the future? Can this be Mahomes' guy? Because here's the deal. When Kelsey leaves, who's Mahomes' guy? Because all these great quarterbacks have their guy. And clearly Alex Smith's guy was Travis Kelce. Patrick Mahomes' career has been Travis Kelce. What happens 31-year-old Patrick Mahomes without Travis Kelce? Who's his guy? And then if Rice goes somewhere else, it's not Xavier Worthy. It's not Tyquan Thornton. Like, every quarterback has their dude, man, whether it's tight end, wide receiver. Brady, it's Gronk, man. Gronk was his dude. He threw it to him all the time. Gronk got a ton of receptions. That was his Julian Edelman, those guys. He had a couple. He had more than one. Jerry Rice, Joe Montana. Everybody's got their guy. Duper, Clayton with Marino. Reggie Wayne with Peyton Manning. I mean, everybody's got their guy. Who's Mahomes' guy? That's the question. And we don't know at this point. You have an elite quarterback that might go into, again, cart before the horse, but going into the 27 year without, quote, a guy.
I wonder if I don't know if this is a reach, and I know he's only played 1 year, but Ashton Gelati, it feels like it, maybe not career defining necessarily, but in terms of like his role within the team. Because if he had 1.5 sacks last year, and if he doesn't take that extra jump, if you will, that you might expect from year 1 to year 2, and R. Mason Thomas plays well, then I think Ashton Gelati, his, ceiling, and maybe it was always this in the first place, given that he was a third-round pick, but he's more of a rotation guy coming in than a starter for this team. And I think that's where I know R. Mason Thomas was selected in the second round and everything like that, but it feels like this is an opportunity for Ashton Gelati to secure that edge spot opposite of George Karlaftis this year, at least from a starting perspective, where if he doesn't, or if he's still in the 1 to 2 sack range, then his role is just going to change maybe compared to what he could have thought given the opportunity at that other edge spot with Amenu being out. And really the only competition he's got there is R. Mason Thomas and Felix. That right, and who knows if Felix even makes the team.
Right.
So it's his spot to lose at this point, it feels like.
Yeah, under that caveat, I agree with it. If we change the conversation a little bit to more than just, hey, whose career is at stake, it's more of a
2 years in is too early.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's career defining, but I get what you're saying, which is how we will view Ashton Gelati is going to change drastically based off of this season, good or bad. If he's someone that struggles to get to the quarterback and he gets passed up by R. Mason Thomas or somebody, then he's just a dude. Versus he goes out there and he becomes a 5.5 sack guy. All right, we're like, okay, that's a legitimate piece opposite George Karlaftis, for example. And moving forward, it makes you feel a hell of a lot better about the defensive line.
Well, there's one thing, too, about him, too. There's a little bit of pressure because his selection was picked 66 in the draft. That was from L'Jarius Sneed. Like that trade that they made with the Tennessee Titans, it was that pick coming back in the third round, pick 66, that they used on Ashton Gelati, who, by default or whatever you want to call it, he was the Chiefs' Rookie of the Year last year. He was their Mackley Hill winner. So there is expectations because the Chiefs, in their clubhouse, their locker room, they voted on Ashton Gelati being that Rookie of the Year. They said he was the best of all the rookies. They gave him that award last year. He's always going to be in that rotation because I think the Chiefs just use that rotation. I don't think those guys have really separated themselves from being that guy. If Drew's right, he could, quote, be that guy, but there's so many guys there in the stable that they want to, quote, be that guy and be rotation because it is heavy rotation. But you are carrying that L'Jarius Sneed back because it's kind of cool now the Chiefs have Sneed back or whatever. But this pick 66 was Ashton Gelati, which came from Tennessee from the L'Jarius Sneed pick.
The more that I think about it, there's only, we've named, 3 guys?
Yeah, Worthy, Rice, and more.
Yeah, it feels like it's not, you're not going too far beyond those guys. Somebody had texted in Butker, but at this point, I don't know if you can even move off of him, even if he isn't that good
After this year, they could. They'd have to eat some money, but it's doable. If he were to struggle, again, we're talking field goal percentage. I understand my big thing with him is if they get to the playoffs, that's what really matters because that's where he's made his money is in the postseason. He's, the last couple of years he hasn't been all that accurate compared to his peers. We looked it up, might shock people, but he was like 19th or so in football in terms of field goal percentage. And no, it's not just because he kicks a bunch of long field goals. We did the dive on it, but he has made kicks when it matters most. And so if this team gets back to the postseason this year and Butker makes kicks in the postseason, then I really don't care as much about some of the other metrics.
He's been there forever because he actually played that rookie year of Mahomes where Mahomes sat out behind Alex Smith. Brett Veach, one of his best moves, he went out and grabbed him off the Carolina Panthers.
No doubt.
He's still a young guy, too. He just turned 31. because he was 30 going in. His birthday was just a couple of days ago. He turned 31, so still very young. I just think with Rashee Rice, now with the Chiefs resign, I can't see the Chiefs give him a big-time contract, and I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what the NFL market's going to be weird with him when you think about free agency with Rashee Rice, because you do have that 6-game suspension, which means if you get caught for as much as jaywalking, Alex, the NFL is going to slap 10 games on you or more. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's already got that notch against him with the NFL.
Yeah.
But he's got that knock on him with the NFL with the 6-game suspension. So he's kind of on borrowed time with that, which becomes a risk. Like, because the NFL could hammerjack him the next time he steps out of line, to be honest with you. Would he command, could he be a top 20 receiver, getting top 30 money? Or instead of top 20 money or top 15 money because of a situation and where he's been? The Chiefs have showed him loyalty, shown loyalty back. So could you pay him like top 30 money for wide receiver, but yet be a top 20 wide receiver?
Yeah, the question would be the guaranteed money. That's where I think teams won't trust him on. And the actual contract might, if he has a big year, might look decent, but how much money are you actually guaranteeing this guy based off of his track record? So we'll see. That's an offseason conversation, but there's no doubt he's on the list of players that have the most at stake for their career. We'll get back to some Chiefs football in 15 minutes or so. But some other World Cup observations. One, yesterday, I did not know they had a FIFA anthem. I'm sure Drew knew, but I had no idea there was a FIFA anthem. So
I had no idea either.
When they had someone sing the FIFA anthem, I was very confused. There was also the FIFA trophy comes in a Louis Vuitton case. We got to up our game, I guess, for the Lombardi and for the Stanley Cup. I mean, we got the white glove treatment, but usually for the Lombardi, it's just, John Elway walking the trophy and handing it to the Kansas City Chiefs, which is a great memory. But we got to up our game on our trophy presentation, I guess. I did not know that was a thing. And then the other observation was the halftime show. Bink, I know you're critical.
So they have to bring in a nice.
You're critical of halftime shows. What did you think of Madonna, Bieber? You had Ted Lasso introducing Bieber. You had Shakira, of course, who never ages in the halftime show. Did you like the halftime performance?
I'll be totally honest with you. I did watch the entire game, but I treated this one like I do Super Bowl halftimes. I did. That's a good time to get refreshments, grab that extra beer, food. I'm not kidding. I'm not a halftime guy because I've told you what. I like dogs catching Frisbees because I think people like that. And you know what? We joked about
We didn't need dogs catching Frisbees
We
yesterday.
joked about that last year. You remember what happened that Saturday?
I know.
I was with you that Saturday. The University of Michigan had dogs catching Frisbee at halftime, and it was a huge success.
Yeah.
We were joking about it.
Huge success.
It was funny. We were joking about it, then all of a sudden Michigan does it that weekend.
Wayne Rooney was on BBC broadcasting over there during the halftime show. Here was his thoughts.
I'll be honest, man, was when it finished.
Enjoy it.
Look, I like a lot of the matters, but I thought it was crap.
So miserable.
That's it, obviously.
Tell you what else you get on the BBC, honest reviews.
What about the Macarena? Could I get to you? I just didn't get me going.
I think it was Bieber that kind of brought you down, wasn't it? I think Bieber was a bit slow for you.
Wayne Rooney calling the halftime show crap. I did think it was a weird song choice for Bieber. It was definitely a downer. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's a halftime show.
It was him just showing off the voice, I think, more than anything else that was interesting.
Why were they still doing the Macarena? That thing is so old, man. Why used to do my draft stuff to the Macarena? Because it's Macarena.
Why do people do the wave? Why do people? I mean, there's some stadium stuff that never dies, I guess.
How about the accent from Wayne Rooney as well?
Strong. I mean,
strong.
strong.
It was crap.
I'll be honest, man, was when it finished.
Enjoy it.
Look, I like a lot of the matters, but I thought it was crap.
Speaking of accents, you missed Drew's British Open.
I thought it was crap.
Oh, yeah, I did miss Drew. Did your accent improve?
Yeah, he did a great British
I think it was better.
Better than Scottish.
I stayed more composed.
Okay.
I did at one point go from British to Australian and then back to British again, though, which happens.
A little bit.
But, yeah, it wasn't bad.
Which is, New Zealand was the
Fox,
winner. So.
Yeah, Fox did win. He's from New Zealand. That's true. What did I miss? You guys tell me. I've told you what happened in Punta Cana stuff. What did I miss last week?
You missed the home run derby.
Yeah,
I
saw Jordan
glorified batting practice that lasted entirely too long. Put it this way. You know what the Major League Baseball strove for? Fast games with the pitch clock and everything. Let's get people out within 2.5 hours. Let's go. Let's move it. And people love it. The average Major League game is 2 hours and 42 minutes. NFL games, 3 hours, a little bit more. That home run derby lasted about 3 hours. So it was a glorified batting practice that lasted. It was hitter, 3-minute commercial or longer. Hitter, 3.5-minute commercial. They drugged that thing out for 3 hours. That was longer than a Major League Baseball game. So you missed that.
I'm sure you saw the video of the Bison
Yeah, I saw the Bison video.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
I saw Jordan Walker won. I only saw. I did not watch the Derby live. By any means, being on Netflix kind of screwed that up for us down there. We were trying to watch it, but they were big fans of Junior Caminero down there. He's from the DR, so that was who
he got drilled in the All-Star game.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, they hit him with the pitch, didn't they? He's all right though, wasn't he? I think he was. I'm sure he was in the lineup for. He got drilled in the hand.
Oh,
like during the.
I saw the score. The AL won like 4-0 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, you didn't miss the Royals losing. They did win Friday and Saturday, which
I was back late Friday night.
Okay,
so
you saw it. They were hammered yesterday. So
I did see that 19 runs. My goodness.
Yeah, they were.
Cody tried to buy a trailer.
Yeah, that was the
try to buy a trailer.
That was the big one.
Like on his own, just like for the show.
So the Argentinian national team,
yes,
has their comms trailer. Essentially, it's like attached to the hotel that they were staying in.
The base camp.
Cody was on Marketplace for whatever reason, and it was on Marketplace for $40,000.
Discussing with the gal selling it,
and on eBay he saw it as well, and he messaged. Said seller. And they were in talks of getting...
In talks?
They were in talks of what it would take to... what the interest level is in her actually selling the trailer. And he originally was trying to He was trying to drop the above board part of the show for a moment. But then I think it transitioned to him almost pursuing it for himself. And he basically said...
How much is this trailer?
$40,000.
$40,000.
He's not buying it for $40,000.
No, but he had somebody to pick it up and deliver for free.
That was where the below board.
How are
part
you
of it
grabbing this trailer?
Well, that was where the below board part of it kind of came in.
A listener offered to get a crane or something, or what?
Yeah, but he also was gauging how much could be raised.
Oh no.
Yeah, legal.
So that's why he's not on the show today.
So
honestly,
genuinely, he might be getting the trailer today. Actually, if he found a way to.
No, I'm thinking that Johnny Palumbo stepped in.
You're saying that he was removed.
I'm gone for 1 week and we're sabotaging the show.
He brought it up on the air. Legal did get involved with it, and so. But here's the thing:
he had to do it himself. Essentially, is what he found out. But
he was going to do it.
I suggested.
Why does he want the trailer? What is he doing with the
trailer?
Put
in the backyard.
He's going to put it in his backyard and turn it into a bar called Messy Taps. And
pretty sure you can't use Messi's name, but yeah.
Well, it would be MESSY.
Okay,
is what he would say to get away with it. But
right.
he said there'd be like originally it was like a founders club. Whoever helped would get their name.
We talked about this with CNG Pizza back in the day.
Whoever helped would get their name engraved on the trailer and have drinks. Their first drink would be.
So you're just going to invite people in his backyard.
That was
I'm sure his wife would love that. Yeah.
He said he talked to his wife about it.
Yeah, she was on board.
Which is
He's not at first, but here's the deal.
I'll have to ask about this tomorrow. I'm not aware of any of this.
Yeah,
the
tomorrow
Kansas City Star ran a story on it. Most of it was just national. But
a story on Cody wanting to buy it?
No, not Cody, but the trailer.
Okay.
But put it this way. All the news stations ran something on it. We had Mackenzie Nelson in here Friday for Fan Club. Yeah. She did a story, because I'm sitting there watching 41 that night, Friday night. She did a story on it about it being for sale.
Okay.
Being for sale. So, yes, I think people were listening to Cody and the wanting it and said, oh, man, this, because then all of a sudden every news station had a story on it when Cody started talking about it and really wanting it bad. I don't know what the conclusion is to it.
He was more about that than I would say the palette.
He knows
he was more about this
like,
than the palette.
He knows he can buy a shed for his backyard, right, and get it painted any color he wants, right? He knows that's possible. Like the sheds are not only allowed to be built for Argentina's national
To be honest
team.
with you, Gold, I told him it's probably going to be free because this is at a hotel.
It's not going to be free because it's that but they want that hauled away.
But they do want it gone. I'm sure they tasked somebody to get rid of it, and they had no bids. They had no bids.
There was a Trash of the Day story that was kind of funny. There was a woman in Florida,
of course,
old woman at like a retirement home.
Right.
She got her plates in, and her plate was
her license.
It was the wrong license plate. It said SQZ A55.
Squeeze ass.
And she went around the retirement home showing it to people, and there was a guy that said, "Good," and she was like, "Good." She said she thinks she's going to keep the plate. So that was
she didn't like the plate at first, but now she
was kind of befuddled by it, but she's not going to keep the plates, I think. But yeah, 75-year-old woman or something like that.
So a lot of stuff.
Squeeze-ass license plate.
What exciting as you? There was no prostitutes or getting your organs cut out.
It sounds like you had a very entertaining. I wouldn't say more than us, I would say.
It was Cody's
you
trailer.
had a very relaxing, entertaining week.
Yeah, it was a great trip. It was a nice, relaxing reset. We'll get back to the, it turns out, almost being kidnapped part at noon hour today. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I was wondering, I knew whenever I'm gone for a week, there's something. Cody
The trailer.
always ends up with some
trailer's the big
idea
Big
or
one.
wants to waste. We don't really have a show fund anymore. We're not allowed to, so we don't really have a show fund. But the shed doesn't make any sense.
If you did, it would have been gone. If you had got a show fund, it would have been gone.
Oh yeah, it's been gone for a long time.
It would have been completely gone.
All right. Well, I appreciate the update. I'll have to ask Cody about this tomorrow. His quest to buy a
For all we know, he's still on it.
communication
He might have
trailer
bought it.
for Argentina from Argentina.
He might have got it. I thought the price would go up, especially if they won it. Like they won back-to-back World
40
Cups.
grand for this thing, and you have to haul it away. What a ripoff.
But they have to do something with it.
Fine, but 40 grand.
Tear it up?
I think it's 5 or 10 grand max.
I agree. I thought he could have got it for a lot less.
And I just found
'cause
the
they just want it
listing.
gone.
I just found the listing, and it says one side of it doesn't even have siding on it.
Yeah, it's the side that was
So
pushed
he's
up
got
against the hotel.
Yeah, this is 40 grand stupid.
He's going to put at least 50 in it to probably finish it.
Anyway, okay, all right.
He wants it.
Up next, let's get back to some Chiefs football. 1 week away from camp, as we said. We know 6-win season a year ago. What does that actually mean for the Chiefs this year? And something that I don't think makes any sense in sports.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you're looking for a new job and to work for a great local company, Gann Asphalt and Concrete is hiring. Top pay in the industry, health, vision, dental insurance, paid time off, and advancement opportunities. Check them out at GannAsphalt.com. One contractor, all things parking lot.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Listen, I'm not going to hold you. You know it as good as I do. Good enough just isn't good enough. Period. It's just not. And that's exactly why Blue Chew raised the bar for you. Blue Chew Gold, the revolutionary 4-in-1 upgrade, targets both your brain and your body. It dissolves right under your tongue and starts working in as little as 15 minutes, so there's less waiting, more confidence on a whole new level of readiness. This is the future of performance. Faster, smarter, and precision-engineered for results. Ladies, if you're tuning in, send your man the link and make him a trophy husband with Blue Chew Gold. Turbocharge your love life, fellas, and make it easy to get hard. Get started today at BlueChew.com and see why millions of men trust Blue Chew now with the gold standard upgrade that's changing the game for good. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's a special deal for you there. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code KFNZ. That's promo code KFNZ. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety info.
The corrupt political establishment. If you're ready to give them the finger, Taylor Burks is your man for Congress. Taylor Burks, America First conservative, outsider, 3 combat deployments as a naval commander. Taylor Burks will stand with President Trump against rhinos and the corrupt establishment. In Congress, Burks will always put America first. He'll work with Trump to deport every last illegal, ban communist China from owning 1 inch of our land, and protect our elections by passing the SAVE Act once and for all. So if you want to tell off the political establishment, conservative warrior Taylor Burks, and America First patriot for Congress. Paid for by Show Me Valor PAC. www.showmevalorpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Show Me Valor PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
It's Telly Tire and Auto Center summer sale. Buy 4 new Continental tires and save up to $350 with instant mail-in rebates when you add installation, road hazard protection, and wheel alignment. Hurry. Offer ends July 31st. Take it to Telly. Details at tellytire.com.
With the high price of new and used cars today, many drivers are choosing to keep their vehicles a lot longer. But with the average car now over 12 years old, most manufacturers' warranties have expired. I'm Danica Patrick. If your car is out of warranty, a single trip to the mechanic could cost you thousands. That's why smart drivers choose Endurance. If your vehicle is less than 20 years old, no matter the mileage, Endurance could have your car covered for the drivetrain, electrical, AC, transmission, and more. And Endurance is with you every step of the way, from filing a claim to paying the mechanic of your choice directly. And your rate won't go up no matter how many claims you file. Call Endurance now and choose the plan that fits your budget. Act now and get 1 year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value free.
For your fast free quote, call 800-291-0342. 800-291-0342. 800-291-0342.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
$11 hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Drew Nixon, Jay Binkley with you. Coming up in about 15 minutes or so, we'll get to the trash of the day. It's a painful one. Warning. It's a painful one today, Bink. I heard last week you guys had the story that I just was made aware of. I did not know that happened, given the fact I wasn't in town, that there was a man that was stuck in a porta potty in Kansas City, and they had to saw him out.
Yeah, it's true.
It was a good week of trash of the day.
What was he on? Do we know?
It's very hot, too, I'm sure.
Well, you went about today is the hottest day of the year. You see that? Today is the hottest day of the year. I mean, absolutely miserable. We still don't know what the heck's causing all the diarrhea in the United States. I saw that.
I've been avoiding.
You've been avoiding eating?
I've been not eating, but I've been avoiding like the lettuce. I've been avoiding like berries, like any fruit that you have that you eat like the outside of as well.
I had Chipotle with lettuce yesterday. It was all good.
All right, I just
no problem.
I saw that I don't know how long it takes to take effect. We'll have to get an update
they
tomorrow.
said it sometimes takes a week to take it.
What?
That's what they said.
All I know is, look, I was just in the DR, and for about 6 hours, I thought, there's a problem. For about 6 hours, we got it under control. I think what happened, though, Bink, so of course you're not supposed to drink the water down there. I'm well aware of that. Even when you brush your teeth, you use bottled water. And at most of the restaurants at the resort, they poured in front of you. Like, they opened a fresh bottle, and they pour it in a glass. So, like, you're good. But one of the days we went to the buffet, it was the only day we went. One of the days we went to the buffet at the resort. And I didn't think anything at the time, but they poured our water just out of a pitcher. Well, there's no way they actually poured the bottle of water into the pitcher and then into our drink, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm convinced, because I was with two of my friends. One of our friends had no problem. Other friend, Hunter, and then myself, both had about 6 hours of chaos in the bathroom. So I don't know, man.
Good thing it wasn't on a flight day.
Right. Well, then so I go to the gift shop area or whatever. And obviously, I'm like, hey, do you have anything for, look, the language barrier, so I'm just like, I'm pointing to my stomach. Do you have anything? And at first they point to the same, like, oh, I don't think that's what I need. She goes, no. And she hands me the bottle. It says laxative. I go, no, I need the opposite. I need the opposite of that. Thank you very much. And so I took some, like the brand, it was not like your brand name. I don't know. It was it was just like one pill. And it was like $10, of course, at the resort. Wow. And it worked though. And no problem the rest of the trip, Bink.
Good.
We were all good.
Good.
Did not have any problem. All right, let's talk a little Chiefs football.
That would have been bad.
Well, yeah, it would have ruined the trip.
Yeah.
It was just a 6-hour thing. I'm convinced it was the one glass of water at the buffet where they didn't pour it out of a bottle.
You didn't want to fly with that.
No, you do not. We'll get to. I'm glad you brought the flight because something happened yet again. I don't know why it always happens to me, but it did. The 6-win season obviously was not what anybody expected for Kansas City last year. And you think, though, that this was a long time coming, meaning this reset that needed to occur, that when you're winning constantly like the Chiefs were, it's hard to make the changes. But when you have what last year was happen, you look in the mirror a bit, and here we go. They have a new offensive coordinator. They have a new wide receiver coach. They obviously now have invested for the first time in a while in running back.
Yeah, it's like you're on borrowed time a little bit. It's like that older car, and you just got to run it into the ground before you buy something else. Just wait until you need new tires, just waiting for the tires to fall off. Well, the Chiefs, they didn't make a lot of changes. They borrowed time, still making the Super Bowl, still doing it with Worthy, getting to the Super Bowl with your receivers, getting hurt. Everything was fine, but it was like borrowed time. Then you have that, you basically played a full season in the postseason with all the postseason games they played. It's never good not to be in the playoffs, but yeah, they were stretching it out, man. They were just running it as long as it would last. And I understand it, man. You just keep going until the wheels fall off at that point. But they were able to hit a reset button. It's just a little bit different than what we've seen in training camp over the last couple of years. Because since Mahomes has been here, it's been go. You get up to training camp, all the expectations. This team needs to be back in the Super Bowl. And it was a foregone conclusion. That's what they're going to get. They're going to go to the AFC title. When you go to 7 straight AFC title games, your expectations 100% change on your football team. Then all of a sudden you win 6 games. You don't make it into the NFL playoffs for a team that basically has played a full extra season than anybody else because of all the times that they've gone to the title game. But yes, making the changes, not a lot of changes, making the changes on the coaching staff, making an effort for the running game, bringing in, that was their priority clearly in the offseason, was strengthening the running game, bringing a new running backs coach, bringing back EB, et cetera, former running backs coach for this team, bringing it back. That was the emphasis for the Chiefs. But just to kind of chill a little bit, not saying it's a good thing, not going to the playoffs, but this team was on borrowed time, meaning everything they had going into it, status quo, man. Just keep running it as long as it can until you can't run any longer. Then last year, they hit the wall. Like they ran it as far as, even that year before, Alex, even a couple years ago. And they kept making it go. Remember that game on Christmas night or Christmas Day against the Raiders? It was bad.
Sure. Everybody thought it was over then.
And then it was playing the Bengals the next week. I mean, because their record was a situation where they weren't guaranteed a playoff slot in that spot, but they ended up making the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl. They won it all, and they ended up going back again with the team that was depleted in wide receivers. They did, I think, everything possible just to keep it going, keep the thing going. Got 3rd straight Super Bowl. It wore the team out. And I think hitting the reset button is definitely different from what we've seen in years past.
Yeah, and that's why there's probably more questions around training camp this year than we've had in a long time. It's kind of a fascinating training camp. I'm excited to get up there. There's some camps during their run where there wasn't much to really get excited about heading into camp. This year, you got Mahomes coming back from an injury. What's that going to all look like? You've got Ken Walker, of course, in the backfield. You have multiple new pieces in the secondary for the Chiefs, including a top 10 pick and Mansour Delane. You got a new wide receiver coach, and people are going to be keeping an eye on what does that look like? We'll get a chance to hear from him while we're up in St. Joe a couple times as well. So there's a little more intrigue. This what you're saying is kind of why I think this year is still a little bit of a bridge year bridges into getting back to being a true top-tier team in the AFC. That does not mean I'm not predicting them to go to the playoffs. I am. I think they will be a playoff team this year. But I don't think we should expect them to immediately jump back to being 13-win Kansas City Chiefs football team and back to being the top 1 or 2 teams in the AFC. But with Patrick Mahomes, as the season goes on, as the team improves, hopefully as the year goes on, if they end up getting in even as a wild card, you're not going to want to play Patrick Mahomes. No team will in the postseason. That's just the reality. It's the same thing we said in the past about Tom Brady. Even if you view that team not as good that year, you don't want to play a Tom Brady team in the postseason. I think the same thing would happen with the Chiefs, but this is not a perfect roster, and it's far from perfect, I would argue. There's a ton of questions on the roster, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. I actually feel like on the offensive side, we know a lot about what this roster is and where the starters are at. The defense is more the question of, we were just talking about Ashton Gelati from Drew a couple segments ago. We don't know what that rotation is going to look like with Gelati and R. Mason Thomas. We don't for sure know how much playing time Peter Woods is going to have with Tonga in the interior of the defensive line. The secondary, we think we know, Mansour Delane, duh. But after that, Noel Williams, how much is Christian Fulton playing? Is L'Jarius Sneed actually going to make this roster and be a part of this team?
Omar Norman-Lott coming off an ACL. We've talked a ton about Mahomes' ACL, but Omar Norman-Lott had the same situation at the ACL during the season. That was your second-round pick last year. What's he going to add to the defensive rotation? Because there's not been a lot of news about Omar.
No.
Other than putting the weight on it, he gets hurt. But that's a second-round pick that they coveted. They liked Omar Norman-Lott a lot. And you get him back this year, and hopefully, after this ACL injury that he had, that gives you another piece of the defense. Because I think he gets forgotten when people look at the defense and talking about the pieces that, hey, let's not forget this guy was a second-round pick just last year.
20 minutes away from the Chiefs Red half hour. We'll get back into that, including a tweet from Warren Sharp, who was breaking down some of the wide receiver rooms in football. It tells you just where the resources have been for Kansas City compared to their peers, including right in the AFC West. So that's coming up in just a bit. Don't forget, you guys can interact with us here on 96.5 The Fan on the J. Southland Tow Service text line 913-586-7965. We'll get to the trash of the day in about 7 minutes or so. We led the show today talking about the World Cup and, of course, Spain winning the World Cup yesterday against Argentina. And then on Saturday was the third-place match with England and France. And I know Drew was watching it because he was texting us a little bit. I did not watch any of it once I found out that it wasn't important enough for Jude Bellingham to start, even though he did play. And it wasn't important enough. He did. And it wasn't important enough for Harry Kane to play. So then it's not important enough for me. And yeah, you can say if
Mbappe played, though.
He did. And we'll get to that in a second because it's a third-place game. I know they've had it in the World Cup since the 50s or whatever. And it's something that is only in the World Cup and basically the Olympics, right? Like that's it.
They want to have a bronze, so to speak.
Yeah, and so look, if the United States men's national team was in the third place game, we would have had a watch party, I'm sure, Drew, on Saturday. We would have all been fired up to finish in third place for the World Cup. But in general, it's not, as an American sports fan, it is not easy for me to wrap my mind around why I should care about a third place match when in this case, my country is not even in it. Yeah, I get it. U.S. Olympic basketball, there's a third place game as well. It happens. But this is just one of the dumber things that I can think of that we have in sports, including somebody yesterday, I think it was Mike Florio, suggesting that there was people talking about an NFL, once again, going back to basically this third place game.
They would not play in it.
You know how ridiculous that is? Imagine the Chiefs losing an AFC title game. And then the next week they're playing the loser of the NFC for what? It's just silly to me.
It'd be Justin Fields starting.
Why? And tell me why. You mentioned Mbappe, who won the Golden Boot. How does his goals in that count? And it hurts Messi for winning the Golden Boot. Messi made the final. It should be you should not get credit for still playing, yes, the same amount of games, but for not getting to the final. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That'd be like us all of a sudden having given stats in the Pro Bowl, and you get credit for throwing touchdown passes in that game too. What are we doing?
Yeah, it's crazy. You understand it because that way they could declare a third-place team and say, hey, we finished third in 2026 World Cup. And it's obviously a money grab for them, too. They make a ton of money, on the event. But, yeah, I mean, they rested players. France didn't because there was obviously justification for Mbappe, who is in a race with Messi. Not only did he win the Golden Boot, but he's now the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history. So it was incredibly important for him.
You also get an extra money,
$29 million or something.
Yeah, for finishing third place. So
it's a lot of money at stake.
That incentive.
Harry Kane would have played for $29 million, man. Like if you're England, you're saying we're all playing if we can win $29 million.
I mean, it's more. I think some of it is more because the turnaround is so quick for some of these guys. I think the reason that Kylian started was more for the Golden Boot thing than anything else, but I didn't mind it. I think going into it, we know what it is. Like you already know what a third place match is going to be. There's not as much pressure.
Look at the score.
Yeah, I feel like the way that the match went was extremely entertaining. You see,
it was actually exciting,
back and forth, and I mean, it was very much like a game of pickup that just gets bonkers. I mean, the game was absolutely insane. I think that's if you. Like going in with that mindset is what it would be for football. I do think it is different though regarding like soccer compared to American football. And not that guys can't get hurt also in soccer too, but you're dealing with the hitting and all that other stuff. I don't know how much we would watch for sure. I think if the Chiefs came in second place in the AFC, losing the AFC title game, and they're in the match again, and they're in the matchup against I don't know whoever in the NFC. I think a lot. People in Kansas City are going to watch. It's just going into it, what is your mindset? And then if somebody gets hurt, obviously at that point, it's really devastating for a variety of different reasons. So it feels like if it's not there already, it's unnecessary, where the World Cup's had the third place match forever.
Yeah, since the 50s.
So I don't have a problem with it. I enjoy the match, but if the NFL used to have one and then going back to one, I don't know what the point would be other than to be a money grab. Given that they haven't had it, in 70 years.
Some of this is also just the different. I mean, we had the conversation, guys, the first week of the World Cup, 5 weeks ago or whatever. We were just saying just the mindset of sports fans for the World Cup is so different. It's other than March Madness, it's the only sport you go in with in this case, your country, but in March Madness, your team, your school, where you're like, you know what, just a Sweet 16 appearance or Final Four appearance. I'm good with that. The World Cup, finishing third. Now, England and France were not happy to finish third, right? France was expected to win the whole thing. But my point is that it's the only tournament really where you're okay with that. The United States, they would have finished third. Oh my gosh, it would have been the biggest advancement in U.S. soccer in history. So it's just different.
Yeah.
Like every NFL team wants to win a Super Bowl. Nobody's saying the Bears had a failure of a season last year, but also the Bears didn't throw a parade for losing in the divisional round or whatever it was last year either. It's just different. I don't know. It's hard to get my mind around caring for a third place match. That's all.
Especially to me, when I do think you're representing your country. I think that is the difference ultimately, where, if you're representing, if you've got, the team colors on, you got the country behind you and everything, I understand why in the Olympics and in the World Cup, they've got the third place matches. I totally understand it, where obviously in the NFL, you're not representing your country. And I don't know if that also is another one of the differences that makes it feel bigger. There's more pride in that third place match as well. You want to go out and play well because, one, you should always do that, but two, you're representing your country. You want to do your country proud, where not that people wouldn't care for Chiefs fans, but you got to be honest. Like if it's the Bills and the Seahawks in the third place match, it's not you're not representing your country. So I think it's a little bit different in terms of the levels of what it would be like from a soccer standpoint to an NFL or NBA or whoever the heck else you want to even throw in.
913-586-7965. Someone from the 785 texted and said the league MVP in the NFL doesn't always go to the Super Bowl winner. With all due respect, I think it's a bad comp. It's just that comp doesn't work. The MVP award is voted on before the postseason even begins. So Kylian Mbappe winning Golden Boot for the most goals in the World Cup, and not Messi. Like I don't think we can make the NFL comp to that. The NFL MVP, the reason why they vote before the playoffs, because otherwise the Super Bowl winning quarterback in most years would end up being the NFL MVP. If it came down to it was close between
coach of the year.
Yeah, coach of the year would usually go to the Super Bowl winning coach. So they vote on it before the playoffs for a reason. I don't think you can compare the Super Bowl winning quarterback not winning league MVP to the Golden Boot winner not winning the World Cup. Nobody's saying that, by the way. The issue is not that somebody on Spain didn't win. The Golden Boot is literally just how many goals you scored. The issue is that I don't think third place match, you should get credit for scoring goals in that towards the Golden Boot, whether the person's competing in the final or not. It just shouldn't count. It's a consolation game essentially.
Do we think the NFL actually does this? Like, is there any way, shape, or form that the NFL actually does that?
The players threw such a fit when they went to 17 games, and they're about to do it again when it gets to 18 games. In the Pro Bowl, that thing's going away the dodo bird because no one watched it last year. The ratings for the Pro Bowl were actually worse than the WNBA All-Star game, which has never happened to the NFL because people don't like it.
I mean,
but you have a game like that, you know damn well. It's Justin Fields, Garrett Nussmeier starting the game. If that was to be the Chiefs, it wouldn't have been Mahomes starting in a third-place game.
Right.
It would have been last year. It would have been Chris Oladipo going. It would have been anybody but a starter.
All right, let's get to the trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
I warned you, Bink, at the start of this segment. I said this is painful. Guys, this one's painful. We go to Russia. This is a real story from theexpress.com. The-express.com. You want the headline or the story first? You want the headline, just gives it away right away? Fine. Jealous wife bites off husband's penis after sharpening teeth in guaranteed revenge. A Russian wife reportedly bit off her husband's penis after sharpening her own teeth in what medics described as a guaranteed act of bloody revenge. It occurred in Moscow after a 39-year-old woman discovered a message on her 41-year-old husband's phone from another woman.
Oh, boy.
The message detailed an erotic dream about having sex with him on a beach. Rather than confronting him directly, the wife reportedly carefully orchestrated her assault.
She wouldn't do it, right, Drew?
Oh, gosh. Bink. It also comes after a separate incident there in which a woman poisoned her husband with fentanyl 4 times, but vowed to stick by her. He stuck with her after being poisoned with fentanyl. I don't think this guy's sticking with his wife.
These are paint. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's...
Medical expert
sharpening teeth.
Analyzed this case, revealed that the woman had filed down her teeth to make them sharper.
Oh, my. Filed teeth.
Now, a clean bite, is that better or worse for you here, you know?
Makes you want to get married.
Is this why you got divorced a few times, Bink?
Yeah, I took a chance, I guess. It didn't happen. Oof. Drew, you're still on the clock. Why is that Blue Chew opened in the trash? I gave it to Bink. I gave it to Gold.
Oh, you've asked Drew to share some with you?
Yeah, I've asked Drew. What if he
have you?
No, he's never given me a damn thing. You would think friends would help friends. And Blue Chew would be perfect. They have a gold one. They have a golden chew now. It's even a higher level than Blue Chew. It's Blue Chew Gold.
Wow.
But Drew has not given me that. I've asked for it many times.
Okay.
Not just once.
Oh, it's like that, Bink. All right.
It could be a wedding gift for Mac.
Shout out to Mac. He's getting married this weekend.
Someone said, did she use it to light a house fire also? That's a great callback from the trash of the day right before I left a week or two ago, where the guy...
What an insane story that was.
What a callback from the texter. We appreciate you. That's a P1 right there. That guy that cut his junk off and then lit it on fire and it caused his garage to get caught on fire.
Doing that to yourself also, it's just, what type of insane behavior is that?
Someone says, please end this trash of the day. Okay. Cut it. No pun intended. Thank you.
Wow.
That's a trash.
We did have one thing you missed it too before we go to break. The computer incident with Bink happened one time last week. Happened one time.
Once.
It happened one time.
The first day, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, the first day. And
not
then
again.
The first thing I did as soon as I got on my side, it was mute whatever.
But you know what?
Was.
You wouldn't have had the issue because I got rid of the problem immediately.
Well, good.
It's the first thing I do. It hasn't happened, Gold. I learned my lesson.
I appreciate it. It could have happened to start the show today, and it didn't. So I appreciate that.
It wouldn't have because I done.
Text line says that Gold, that could have been the girl in the Dominican Republic. That could have happened to you. That's true.
Wow,
that would have been. I mean, it's that or having my kidneys cut out of my body, according to some of you on the text line.
That could have happened.
We'll get back to the Dominican Republic story, including this woman that maybe was going to kidnap me coming up around 12:10.
Could have been trash of the day.
Could have been. Up next, though, let's get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Let's talk a little bit more about the wide receiver room and where it stacks up. According to Warren Sharp, that's next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. At Jackson County Parks Plus Rec, there are countless ways to make your day.
Ooh, that's a great shot.
Take the Fred Arbanis Golf Course with 18 holes of championship-level golf and panoramic views of Longview Lake. It's no wonder GolfLink has named it the #1 public golf course in Missouri.
Way to sink it.
Nice birdie. The Fred Arbanis Golf Course at Jackson County Parks Plus Rec. Resort feel, affordable play. Learn more at makeyourdayhere.com.
When shopping for a new auto insurance policy, AAA could help you customize your coverage to fit your unique needs and budget. Trust AAA Auto Insurance to help you find the balance that works for you. See how a simple switch could make a big difference. AAA, we're always with you. Visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
If the amazing regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics provided relief for former pro football player Bobby Carpenter, imagine the potential for your aching joints.
So my knee had been bothering me for a while. I played football for a number of years. I looked at talking to some doctors when I need to potentially have surgery, and I decided hey, let's check out QC Kinetics. I go in there and they look at the knee. Hey, here's the program that we can put you through.
That treatment takes your body's own healing properties and concentrates them at the root of the pain. No surgery or downtime.
The best part was there's no recovery until one day I felt like, hey, this feels like my old self again. I feel better. It's helped me. It's helped my dad. Hopefully it will help you in the same way. My message to them is do not wait. So you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Take it from Bobby Carpenter. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and you know baseball's back. BetMGM, the official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boosts. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
Right now, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for just $9. Plus, receive 2 times O-Rewards points at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Rob Sight Ford, KC's Ford volume leader and top rated on Google. 135th and State Line. Rob Sight Ford, your 2025 Ford volume leader. Top rated on Google with 4.8 stars and 3,000 plus reviews. The best selection, best prices, and Kansas City's best customer service. Visit Rob Sight Ford at 135th and State Line. Buy right, save big, and drive home a winner. Only at Rob Sight Ford.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's up, Chiefs fans? It's Travis Kelce, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour with Cody and Gold. Weekdays at 11:30 on 96.5 The Fan.
I leave for a week. We got Travis Kelce introing Chiefs Red Half Hour now. I like it.
I think that means you might have to, I don't know what your chances are. The fact that he's saying your guys' names, I mean, it flows off the tongue. Well, it feels like you guys got to have him at camp. You know, I feel like this is
He's on the list. Trust me. He's on the list. We have sent our list in of requested Chiefs players. I would be fairly surprised if we get Travis Kelce, but we will have 15 different players joining us throughout Chiefs camp, exclusively on the show when we begin our training camp coverage on Monday. Bink, driving up to St. Joe Monday morning, the first of 15.
I bet you get some Justin Fields.
He's on the list as well. We'll see.
Ken Walker.
Xavier Worthy's on the list. Obviously, Chris Jones.
Rashee Rice.
All the players you want to hear from, I can assure you, we have requested.
Rashee Rice.
He is on the list. I don't think they will give us Rashee Rice, but trust me, the players you want to hear from are on the list. I can't guarantee if we'll get them.
James Winchester.
He is not on the list, I don't think.
Damn it.
But we've
longest tenured Chief. Longest tenured Chief.
Yeah, no disrespect to him, but he's not on the list. But we submitted a list of like 20 or 25 players that we'd like to have on the show, and we'll see. Usually we get a good chunk of them, Bink. We usually get a good chunk.
No more snow cones, right? Jones doesn't play the game
He doesn't come by the tent anymore. Yeah, he doesn't really come by the tent anymore.
Be a nice day.
That was a thing for a couple years. You know, it ran its course, and you move on to new things.
We're
working on some new stuff behind the scenes that we hope to have to make the interviews a little more fun this year. Knock on wood. We'll see if that happens.
It's gonna be hotter than hell today.
Thank you for the reminder.
Snow cones be perfect.
Yeah, thank you for the reminder about
Knock
how hot
on
it's going to
wood.
be up there. Yeah, and today is awful. I'm sure next week will be very warm. It's St. Joe, you know?
It's going to be nice and cool.
That's Bink. Basically, they have like your honorary mayor of St. Joe. That still is a long-standing
Well, you're
thing.
guaranteed 2 storms, at least.
Yeah. Drew usually has to cover for 35, 40 minutes while we're hauling it back down I-29.
You're guaranteed at least for 2.
Yep. You're not wrong.
The booth practice indoors.
For sure.
You guys will try to figure out what the hell you're doing.
Yep. We're going to be looking at a radar at 6:50 in the morning, trying to decide if we're driving. Yep. These are all things that are true.
Just go to the station, Cody.
Yep. So we'll see. We got some stuff planned. And I believe it's been confirmed. Drew can tell me if I'm off on this, but I believe we've got our meteorologist renewed for another season with us.
I do believe, yes.
I believe
Cloudy
with the chance will be back once again for training camp weather reports a couple times a week. So I'm excited.
I don't think anybody
about
has guessed correctly either.
on who it is. That's right. Yep. People text in, and none of you have guessed.
People even guess you, Bink.
I would probably be more accurate.
No, Cloudy with a chance is very accurate. The forecast.
Yes.
Very accurate. All right, let's talk a little Chiefs football, though. Warren Sharp was putting out the most expensive wide receiver rooms in football. And I remember we kind of had a conversation about this pre-draft a little bit, and it popped back up for whatever reason.
Because it's been adjusted.
Yeah.
So what's Chiefs were
post-draft
cheapest.
and any other veteran signings and things like that.
Refreshed.
Yeah, it's a little updated list. And so this is pretty jarring to see how much some teams are spending, but I don't think we should be surprised if you look at the wide receiver room Kansas City has. You look at their investment, knowing who's not under contract in the future as well, meaning guys that are on rookie contracts. I tell you the Chiefs are spending $19 million this year. That is the third cheapest wide receiver room in football. On one hand, you can say, why aren't they spending more? Fair. On the other hand, well, Rashee Rice is on a rookie contract. Xavier Worthy's on a rookie contract. The question
your number
is,
one's a second-round pick.
Your number one and number two are on rookie contracts, and your number one is a second-round pick. So unless you wanted them to go in and spend big money on a third receiver, there was probably no scenario where they were jumping way up on the list. Now, I'll tell you this. Next year, either with a new deal for Rice, which I don't want to have happen, or signing a big-time free agent, or drafting one in the first round, or trading for one, this number has to go up. Otherwise, it means you're not investing in that position. They are only ahead of the Chargers and the Dolphins. If you're wondering who spent the most, it would be Drew's Cincinnati Bengals, obviously with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. $65.5 million this year.
Large investment between the quarterback and the receivers.
Holy crap. They don't have much to show for it yet. Cowboys, $61.8 million. And then the Lions, $52 million. Steelers, $52 million.
Look at the Bears. For $21 million for that wide receiver room, which has got because of rookie contracts.
Yeah, Luther
But that
Burden.
wide receiver room is loaded. That's a hell of a deal they're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no DJ Moore in it anymore.
No.
But it's still a pretty good receiver room. Like I guess I look at this number and it kind of makes sense, but it also tells you that next year, are they in the middle of the pack where the Jags are at $33 million? It's been a while since the Chiefs were much higher than $25, $30 million a year in their wide receiver room.
I mean, $30 million is going for guys like Alec Pierce, just one guy. And you have your entire room making $19 million. It kind of shows the priority of where they sit right now, which I think 2027 draft, they will move up into the middle of this deal with the Chiefs. But it just shows you where they're at. Like, if you look at this team, and all of a sudden at the end of the year, when's the last time they had somebody over 900 yards receiving as a receiver? It was probably Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was the last guy to have done that. Now, Rashee Rice could have done it several times, we know, except for the injuries. But over 800 yards has led the Chiefs the last couple of years at receiver. But if you come out this year and they don't have any production from the wide receiver room, because a lot of times when you see these lists that come out, what's the most glaring need for all these teams? Like ESPN's done them all. It's been wide receivers. I mean, it is well known. It's a Chiefs. They chose to go running game. Well, if the running game succeeds and everything's good and things are going well, it's not as noticeable. But if the offense is not doing anything, because, again, you could name every offensive starter they had for a team that had 6 wins last year. I mean, Jalen Moore is the only real open competition at right tackle, but the rest of the same group. But it's your same group of receivers. It did not change as far as that's concerned. So if the Chiefs don't excel on offense, don't move the ball with the wide receivers, have trouble breaking man coverage, have trouble dropping the football, it should not be a surprise. It should not be a surprise at all.
I 100% with you. Now, I'd say, other than, wanting them to draft a wide receiver in the first round instead of a corner and a defensive lineman, the free agent class, by the time it was done, seeing what Alec Pierce got, there were, other than maybe you want to make the case for Mike Evans, but I'm worried that he's finally going to fall off a cliff this year in San Francisco. We'll see. I could be way off on that. He's a future Hall of Famer, but at some point it'll catch up to him, and I'm wondering if you look at the injuries that have popped up now for Mike Evans, if we're about to see that number dip a little bit. I guess what I'm getting at is, Bink, what wide receiver did you really want them to go spend big time money on in free agency? I think you're always overpaying in free agency, but there really weren't any options in free agency this year. Legitimately, Mike Evans may be the only name you could talk me into.
It's about drafting him. It's about drafting receivers at this point because it's more economic. That's what the Chiefs do. It's like they flip cornerbacks as well. They get them in, they use them for a while, and they flip them for picks, which is just fine. Wide receivers, you know this direction they're going. With the wide receiver contracts and what they're doing, Christian Watson getting $31 million guaranteed and getting, 26, 27 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's for a guy that's never even sniffed 1,000 yards.
Like, I would not want
that's
the Chiefs
going rate.
But I would not have wanted the Chiefs to do that same deal. You know, or what Romeo Dobbs got, or right? Romeo Dobbs, or who am I think? Yeah, was it Romeo Dobbs that got the free agent deal, or am I confusing the wide receivers in Green Bay?
I think they're all of them that got a bigger deal.
They're all like the same receiver in Green Bay. But I wouldn't have wanted that deal.
Oh,
but
Rasheed did have 938 his rookie year.
Okay. Next offseason is the offseason where they might have to play in the deep waters of free agency at wide receiver, although that doesn't look like a good list of names right now in the early going of who might be available. Otherwise, they have to trade or spend premium draft capital on a wide receiver again.
Probably going to be draft
4 year
capital.
68, by the way.
4 for 68.
For Romeo Dobbs.
I would not have wanted that deal. No. Like, I like Romeo Dobbs, but I get, like, I would, if you told me they spent 4 for 68 on him, and so then heading into the following year, you have Worthy and Romeo Dobbs under contract, that's it, and it's Dobbs at 4 for 68. That to me, that would not have been a good spot for them long term. Maybe you'd feel better about the receiver room heading into this year for sure. But remember, they're trying to balance out this cap and kind of get things in order, I think, for 27 and beyond. Chris Jones' cap number is massive this year. Next year, it's still a big number, but maybe they move on from him. Maybe they do something else with the deal after this year.
They've really never messed with except Sammy Watkins when he came in. There was Hollywood Brown with the expectations, getting some money.
But those are what, 2 for $25 million deal type
Nowhere
stuff?
near like the top market where it's going right now. They basically said with the market the way it is, you draft them. The problem is you've basically gone a couple years here where you haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't have that guy coming into year 2 or coming into year 3 and you're all excited about that receiver is going to go out and cash a lot of money and you're going to back off from the deal because you have another receiver in the pipeline. They don't. And it's because what the lack of drafting wide receivers the last couple of years.
But Bink,
they're in this situation where they have nobody.
Bink, it's not that they've not drafted the wide receivers because they've drafted 2 in the last 2 seasons. It's that they haven't been the right.
That doesn't count what they've done with Royals and Cyrus.
They drafted Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice.
That counts.
Yeah,
but the last couple of years, no.
Yeah, but Bink, if you hit on the guys, you don't have to worry about it again. The Bengals drafted Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They haven't had to worry about it again. They just haven't hit on the guys that are, as somebody on the text line said, dependable. Rashee Rice isn't dependable for all of the reasons that we have said before. If he was dependable, then we might not be having the exact same conversation that we've been having for the last year and a half.
Well, the other problem is, too,
Xavier Worthy just hasn't worked out either. I think if you hit on the guys, if you hit on the players, then we wouldn't be having this conversation of, well, they need to help out Mahomes. Like they've invested some in drafting wide receivers in the first 2 rounds.
Somewhat, but there's just
they haven't hit on them.
It's only one. They throw one dart. Like you'll see multiple, defensive backs.
You wanted them to use 2 first-round picks this year on
not
wide
2
receiver.
first round, whatever. But
you wanted
to get a first and a third rounder, first and a fourth rounder. But they don't do that. This is how you don't end up with a Puka Nacua. This is how you don't
that's
do
the
it.
outlier of all outliers. He was a 5th-round pick.
But a Torrey Horton, anybody, you can add any receivers that come in the later rounds. You didn't take the chance to get them.
They also don't play them, Bink. Like Jalen Rose, for all we know, Jalen Rose actually could be a really solid player. But either he couldn't get on the field because he's not that great, or they didn't play him to see if he was even any good.
Sometimes you have to go out and throw multiple picks and see what happens. Because, another receiver that's really popular is Juwan Jennings. Well, he didn't get the contract he wanted, but he's been serviceable for the Niners. They got Juwan Jennings in the 7th round. So, again, because they threw multiple darts at wide receivers, you may get somebody good. You may not. Chances are you're not going to get them, but you could.
Well, they could desperately use Cyrus Allen or Jalen Royals turning into something. Because, again, you look at 2027, and there's no way around it unless one of those guys develops. There's no way around not having to spend either through trade, significant money, or significant draft assets next year. I mean, just the math won't work out. I mean, Xavier Worthy can take the big leap, and let's say he does. Let's say he gets to 850, 900, and they move on from Rashee Rice. Like Xavier Worthy, Tyquan Thornton, that doesn't like that. Come on now, that's not going to get it done. So
in the A.J. Brown deals, that was few and far between. Something like that would have maybe, been something to consider if it had been a year later.
So we'll see. I mean, there's no doubt. Some of the names, like we talk about bang for your buck, though. You never want to just throw money at. It doesn't equate to wins or anything necessarily always either. Because again, Cincinnati, $65.5 million. Nobody's blaming them for paying Jamar Chase, but there's an argument. Should you have paid T. Higgins as well? Yep. That's the argument. The Cowboys, $61.8 million. They're paying CeeDee Lamb all this money. George Pickens is on the tag. who knows if he's there for long? They don't have anything to show for it. And then like the
and
Lions,
that could be an option, but it's be a very expensive option.
The one that's crazy to me is the Steelers spent $52 million in the wide receiver room. I understand they got Michael Pittman Jr. in the trade this year, but Michael Pittman Jr., DK Metcalf, with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, you're spending $52 million.
Well, the Seahawks got return on investment, $45 million.
Sure, no problem. They won the Super Bowl. I mean, nobody
the
last
Steelers
year.
one is pretty baffling.
$52 million.
And they're not. And I don't think many people, at least like with George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, and Jamar Chase, we consider them to be top 10 wide receivers. T. Higgins is probably a top 20. But for the Steelers, like, do we consider DK to be a top?
No,
definitely not top 10. But I
not
mean,
anymore.
He's probably in the top
20. He's top 20.
He's probably top 20 realm.
Yeah, I think
he's not
late,
where he was.
He's late teens now.
Him,
I would say
him and
he's
Pittman together.
18 to 20. Michael Pittman is trending in the wrong direction. I think all of a sudden we'll see. But you have Aaron Rodgers throwing him the football. Like, at this point in time, I know it's a brand new regime, so we'll see what ultimately. It's Mike McCarthy though, and that offense. We'll see. Some of the other ones that were surprising, and it's mainly because of first round pick, and they want to help out. They can do this because they have a quarterback on a rookie deal, Cam Ward. The Titans $46.2 million for their wide receiver room, but they can get away with it right now too because Cam Ward's not making any money,
not paying him.
Yeah, so that's how you can do that.
Just like the Niners,
the Giants $42.4. Well, Jackson Dart's not making any money yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know. The Rams, the math doesn't matter to them. You know, they're just $41 million in the receiver room. Matthew Stafford, top 5.
Aaron Donald might come back.
Aaron Donald might unretire. Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie. You know, just F them picks. And
I'm just saying, you're looking at this, $19 million. They get 2 guys under contract next year, and then no Travis Kelce. I know, Travis Kelce, you never know what's going to happen. I doubt he plays in 27.
No, I agree with that.
Like, it's seriously. So you're without the wide receivers, and you're without your tight end. It's been your leading receiver for the last decade, with the Tyreek Hill mixed in there with Travis Kelce, but they're missing big-time players in their receiving game next year. That has to be the number one emphasis for the Chiefs for the next season.
Advancing past this a little bit as we continue the Chiefs Red Half Hour, Alex Gold, Jay Binkley, Drew Nixon with you. Do we still think, as we're a week out of camp, I remember, for a month or two, we were saying, wait till around camp, maybe they'll bring in a vet. Do you guys still think there's a veteran signing happening? It's a week out, so things can change, but that's gotten really quiet. Stephon Diggs is still out there. Tyreek Hill's still out there. Cam Jordan's not available anymore. That was always the name that I wanted to come in.
Jadeveon Clowney's
as an edge rusher.
He was 4th in pressures last year with over 100 snaps. So, but he's that guy who just
33
goes out and
years
signs
old.
whoever. Yep. He's a hired hand.
He kind of he would be closer now to like the Melvin Ingram signing. Melvin Ingram many years ago now, but signed right around this time, did he not? Yep. And he was a very impactful player for this football team.
He could be impactful in a rotation.
If I had to pick a player, despite what we just said about the lack of investment at wide receiver financially, and what we feel about the receiver room, I would rather, if they could only sign one vet, I would much rather it be on the defensive line. There's no doubt. So whether it's Clowney or somebody else, I would be interested. He does seem like kind of the perfect training camp signing at this point in time. You mentioned the pressures that he got. 60, what did he have last year? He's at least 8 sacks in a season for 4 of them. So
hired hand.
He would have led the team in sacks last year.
He would have.
Veteran leadership.
But you think we're done on anybody coming in other than some random name? I'm talking about a name somebody signs where we're all like, oh wow, okay, that could be an. Not that they just bring in some extra body because they will at some point
without a major injury. A major injury,
well,
yes.
Yeah, let's hope that's not the
case.
If
a big-time injury happened, yes, Stephon Diggs, I would expect that to happen.
Oh,
if an injury happened,
knock on wood. If one of their top 2 or 3 receivers was going to be, well, then you have to.
But I think that's
I'm just saying, like, let's assume everybody's healthy. No. It doesn't feel like it anymore. Tyreek Hill, I don't know if he's playing football this year, guys.
That's a question.
The longer this drags on, he can't pass. I mean, I don't know that's not a fact. I should. My thought is, it seems like he couldn't pass a physical right now if he wanted to.
It would be tough with teams have with physicals and players. We saw that with Hendrickson. What goes on?
Crosby, yeah.
I think there could be somebody they bring in. I don't know if it's not going to be. I don't think it would be Stephon Diggs, but if it's in camp enough, and not that they're not getting anything from the wide receivers, but I wonder if Debo is a guy that's intriguing, or that might just be okay.
Debo intrigued me years ago because of how he could be used with Andy Reid, being that Swiss Army knife. Keenan's still out there. 1 year late, though.
I am with you, Gold. I think that if they do bring in somebody, I would go on the defensive side of the ball more. I'd pick defensive line more than anywhere else, but
yeah, that's where they have the bigger question mark right now. Who's opposite Karlaftis? Yeah, we're hoping to see R. Mason Thomas or Gelati, Norman Lott, et cetera, develop and improve, but it wouldn't hurt to have a vet that you feel like you know there's some standard, right? I guess the floor is high enough with those guys, perhaps. Someone says, Bink, is Keenan Allen still available? That's your guy.
Wanted him last year.
I know you did. That's why they're texting in.
It's a different deal.
Not anymore.
He was serviceable last year.
But you're out on that now.
He was fine last year.
Bink, he was better than fine. You brought him up every chance you could last year. They should have got Keenan Allen. They should have been, look what Keenan Allen did.
At the beginning of the year, he
started off good. He kind of tailed.
Yeah, it was definitely, beginning of the year, he was definitely.
Someone says, did you guys see the videos of Tyree putting in work in the pool and weight room? Good for him. Yeah, I did not, in fairness. I did not see that video, but I don't doubt that he's working his butt off. It's just, is he physically able to play in a National Football League right now? And I think there's a big question mark.
I caution on when you're seeing videos on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, a guy working out. You have to question this because that's just the good stuff, the good workouts, what you're in there doing. That doesn't mean how long you did said exercise. Didn't mean how repetitive you did it multiple days. It's just you had a good day.
I saw Drew's workout video or whatever that was over the weekend.
Yeah,
I don't know what that was. Bink, did you see that?
I did.
You did. I didn't know if you. I don't know what that was. Somebody. I'm not even. This is what's funny, and our listeners are great.
Somebody sent it to you.
Yeah, this is what's. Bink,
you guys are on Drew, watching me.
I'll show you the DM. I did not see it. Okay, I had not seen it yet. I had. I'll even tell you the listener's first name, so Drew believes me. It came from our listener. Where's that? Where's the message at here? From Landon.
I have to watch my back, Landon.
Hey, this is a real message. It says from Landon, and it was quoting your story. Okay. And it said, you have to give Drew a hard time for this tomorrow. I had not seen it.
Hey, man, I was sweating my tail off.
Have you seen this?
When was that?
I was on Saturday, Bink.
Drew, I thought you stopped doing that stuff.
And every now and then you got to remind people.
Look, I've been taking some photos in the gym as well. The difference is my shirt's on. I'm also single. There's just a difference.
The only thing you're missing is the Blue Chew hat.
What's the hand? What's this like? What's the hand thing? What's going on here?
I don't know. It's like throwing up a peace sign, but it's like one of those.
It's got your bottom finger, but you almost cut it off. It looks like you have a gun.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, I'm sure Drew was trying to flash a gun on Instagram. That's what he was going for.
If your finger was cut off there in the picture,
but Drew, that's what happens. Listeners will send me. Listeners will be like, "Hey, did you see this?" Yeah, there's listeners on Drew Watch.
All right, Landon.
I looked into this.
Doing, Drew?
Drew doesn't follow Cody and I on Instagram. Can you believe that? Isn't that ridiculous? Isn't that crazy?
I don't.
For good reason, probably.
Let me go back and follow
I follow you.
Right
Maybe I need to unfollow you so I don't see these.
Yeah.
but some listeners say, "Hey, did you see this from Drew?" And I said, "I did not. Thank you."
Let me go back and follow
I thought you knocked that stuff off, Drew.
He did for a while.
I guess
but you're 30, man. He's Mahomes' age within a month.
Hey, Tyreek Hill needs to stop working out with if Tyreek Hill is out here doing workouts and stuff like that with the show off.
This guy is 1 month younger than Mahomes, and he's out there doing. Again, Drew, I'm disappointed, man. I thought you kept this crap out.
You're disappointed.
I mean, I go on the runs. Like, you know how many times I've gone.
I don't think anybody's nobody's saying you. No, and again, I'm not even hating on that part. Again, I've been going to the gym and I post when I've been going to the gym occasionally. I made a post yesterday, but I'm not taking a selfie, a shirtless selfie. That's the difference, and that's all. That's the big difference here.
Shirtless.
I'll make sure that when I post a picture from the beach at all this year with like my family. And
stuff,
are
you excited? That's next week,
I'll
right?
Be wearing a shirt. Yes.
There you go. Outer Banks, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Outer Banks.
I'll make sure to wear the shirt.
At what age do you think you'll stop this?
I don't know. I don't do it often. I just.
He hadn't done it in a while.
Well,
yeah, done it in a long time. I was surprised when a listener sent me that yesterday. I said, "Oh, okay, all right, fair enough."
Back on this energy.
Drew dog out here.
All right, up next. Up next, let's get to what's trending. We'll get you caught up on what's going on. Plus, back into the success of the World Cup. And if you missed it earlier, I think I almost got kidnapped in Punta Cana.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It is out of here.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the 7th inning stretch of a televised baseball game,
We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate or BPH could be the cause, and Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to the home of the Royals, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti. Number one on What's Trending, Spain wins the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Of course, yesterday 1-0 in extra time against Messi and Argentina. Kylian Mbappe won the Golden Boot.
Your guy.
After Messi was goalless in the final. Mbappe in France, of course, were taking on England in that third-place game on Saturday. But just like that, we're going to talk more about the World Cup. 5.5 weeks of awesome soccer and stories and everybody gathering, whether it's in Kansas City or across the United States. It was awesome. I'm bummed, man, that it's over. I know we get football right around the corner.
Did its job. Got us through summer.
It did. It absolutely did with... Unfortunately, the Royal season not going the way anybody was expecting. It did. It kind of passed the time a little bit.
How about that World Cup for the Royals? Keep talking.
Yeah, not good.
Speaking of the Royals, they didn't win Friday and Saturday, but yesterday they lost 19-2 to the Padres. 19-2 was the final on that one.
Yeah, I did see Cags hit another homer.
That was good.
That was about the only positive out of yesterday.
Yeah, I was hoping Noah Cameron was going to come out and shove, man.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk more about Noah Cameron tomorrow on the show.
He had nine strikeouts in 7 his last 2. He had 16 Ks in his last 2. It was like, man, he's on a roll.
Elsewhere on What's Trending, the Open Championship won by Ryan Fox, a stroke to defeat Cam Young there. I know from afar I was keeping an eye on the controversy with Bryson DeChambeau over the weekend, the penalty stroke, and then he was threatening not to continue in the tournament, and Rory had some pretty strong words for him. But then you had Scotty Scheffler defending DeChambeau, saying, hey, he's a lot of things, but he's not a cheater.
Yep.
But Ryan Fox gets his 3rd win in his career, and, of course, his first major, right?
Yeah, at 39 years old, right, Drew? He's 39 for the first major.
New Zealand, he is 39. He is 39, yes.
Yeah, it was an older time to get a major. I just missed Drew in the accent.
You said you were waking up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m.,
It came on at 4 a.m. So yeah.
Oh, you were that locked in?
It was the perfect sports day. If you're, I mean, you can call me what you want. That's fine. But you get it before you watch.
What are people calling you?
Well, they'd say loser, and there'd be a lot of terms, I think, because
Bink.
L.
Yo, that's...
You know, no one the hell is waking up at 4 a.m. to watch. Yeah, that's the stuff that would be out
people
there.
Calling you a loser, Bink?
Yes.
Come on now.
They do. But I'm just saying, if I do admit what I did, it would definitely be filled with loser text, which is fine because that's just the way it's going to be. I understand. So you get up, you watch the British Open. It took you right in to the World Cup. And then you get the World Cup, turns you in right into NASCAR. And it was a good day to sit there and watch sports.
How many
if
people
you
were
like
on the
golf
Jay
and
Binkley
NASCAR.
timeline? How many people were on the Jay Binkley schedule yesterday? Wake up at 4 a.m. golf to the World Cup final to NASCAR.
I did not wake up that early.
I did not wake up that early, but I did watch the golf. Yes,
and NASCAR.
Definitely not awake at 4 a.m.
And you still had time to do shirtless picks.
He did. Elsewhere, SEC Media Day is going on. I know both of you were locked into this. Some comments this morning from Eli Drinkwitz at Mizzou. I think most notably, though, good news on Ahmad Hardy. We all know he was involved in that awful situation where he was just a bystander and got shot this summer. He has been medically cleared from the bullet that struck him. He is on the road to recovery, according to Eli Drinkwitz now. It's his first day back towards the full recovery. What that recovery will look like is still to be determined. So we don't know as in playing football, but the great news just as a human being, right? He has been medically cleared from being shot over the summer.
When he made comments, Drew, what was it, 5 to 8 weeks, something like that potentially to be ready, which would put him right about the first week of the season. Maybe miss the first week, but it put you, because we're about 2 weeks till August, and you get a series of 4. So
week 0 is August 29th, I think.
29th. Missouri's not on that day, so September 4th, I think, is their first game, so it actually work out clear. The latest negotiations between lawmakers and officials from the SEC/Big Ten to tap conference membership at 19 schools and require programs that move from one power league to another to operate as an independent for 5 years.
Wow.
Sources tell Yahoo Sports.
Notre Dame, this is your chance. You get to stay where you're at for 5 years.
That was the thing, too, Gold, when you were gone, to come out to these. You can't add. You can.
They want to stop expansion of the conferences?
You can't add to this, but you can go down, right, Drew? And that the deal where you can.
Well, originally it was they wanted to cap they wanted to not allow any Power 4 teams to move, and only group of 6 teams can move up. Now it's this, which, I mean, 19 teams in a conference. We're already at 18, or we're already approaching that.
But you got to be independent for 5 years. Come on.
If you're Notre Dame, this is the incentive for them to join the Big Ten. I don't know if this is the Big Ten trying to get Notre Dame to go to the conference, but
so imagine
Notre Dame can still stay independent and then eventually transition.
If we could have rolled back the clock and this was the policy, again, this is still just negotiation, so this is not a set in stone thing.
Yeah.
But back when Texas and Oklahoma just left, they would have had to be independents for 5 years before, and obviously Missouri, same thing back in the day. If this was the rule, they would have imagine them being independents for a couple of years.
It does kind of discourage it from happening.
That's
because
the point,
you don't
I
get
think,
but they want to leave it open where there could be a lot of it. I mean, it favors Notre Dame because it's no different than what they've been doing. So
Right.
I think people have also been begging for them to get in a conference in the first place. But
there's so many things in the transfer portal too. Like, would it come down just to get the one? You get the one move, like an Avery Johnson, which is fine because he's not used one yet. Like, he could play this year, and technically, if Ohio State or Miami, because Miami's been loving doing this lately, throw a bunch of, or Texas Tech, somebody threw a bunch of money for Avery to go down there for it, because the 5-5, he falls right in line with that. So he could do it.
You're trying to break Kansas State fans' hearts bringing up Ohio State. Will Howard left, won a national title. Avery Johnson could leave there too,
It's the way things go in college athletics now. So if you're not used to that, get used to it.
The only other news item today, sports-wise, Michigan's athletic director Ward Manuel announced he's going to step down at the end of the calendar year. Today was also the day where that $12 million they spent on that investigation with Sharon Moore and that whole mess from last year. Some of the details came out. Not a ton, though. They said they weren't going to release any of it really publicly, but some of the stuff came out, and Ward Manuel are going to step down. But that's another change there at the University of Michigan.
Another big-time job available. And you know it's going to be, so they can start the interview process basically now.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. All right, coming up in about 8-10 minutes, we will get to what happened down in Punta Cana. Fun trip, Bink, but I told you, I think I almost got kidnapped.
I think you were almost kidnapped.
And according to the text line, I might have almost had my kidneys ripped out. Yeah. So we'll get to that.
It would have been trash of the day.
It could have been trash of the day, but we'll get there in just a little bit. Back to the World Cup. So, yeah, the match itself yesterday wasn't the most exciting match by any means, but Spain dominated throughout. They deserved to win the World Cup. They held Argentina in check, although it got dangerously close to getting to PKs, and maybe Argentina would have stolen the match at that point in time. But I am bummed out, as I said during What's Trending. The World Cup is officially over. For 5.5+ weeks or whatever, this was awesome. Not just in Kansas City, where we all experienced it firsthand, but the way the United States as a whole, not talking about the U.S. men's national team, I'm just talking about as host cities, these stadiums, these fans, all the stories. It could not have been more successful for the United States, and it's why they're already talking about 2038 maybe, getting this thing back here. And that's been the bigger shift for me. We had talked about the World Cup before it started as if, hey, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, may never have it again in Kansas City. And look, that can still be true, but seeing how much we crushed it here in KC with attendance at the games, with the fan fest, with all the other watch parties that were going on, the great stories, the fact that Argentina and England, Netherlands, Algeria, I should say, all had their base camps here and how successful that was and the great stories. I think if the U.S. is getting this thing in 2038, Bink, I think it'd be crazy if Kansas City doesn't get it again. Kansas City did everything possible.
Or the women's in 31.
The Women's World Cup in 31 is very realistic for Kansas City with what the KC Current has got going on. But I think 2038, I would have told you before it started that, hey, in my lifetime, this might be the only time we get it. I'm now convinced that in 12 years, guys, we might have it right back here.
For sure.
Everything is open up now.
Yeah.
Kansas City dominated. They proved they can handle big events. They can deal with it. The streetcar was a massive success for what the World Cup was. People loved it. They used it all the time. Yeah, Kansas City's now clearly on that map. And who knows what the Chiefs, by that time, will the Chiefs have had a Super Bowl? Well, they have had a national
by
title.
2038, I think so.
100%. So you can add that now to the resume sheet as well.
The only thing I thought was interesting, I wasn't aware of this. So Allegiant Stadium out in Vegas, right? $2 billion stadium. They've hosted the Super Bowl. They've had big-time soccer games, but they could not host the World Cup this go around, and they'll never be able to do it because when they built that stadium with the retractable field, the tray, it wasn't wide enough. They needed to make alterations, and Vegas said no. Vegas said we don't want to pay the money to alter the stadium. So I guess what I'm getting at is whatever the new Arrowhead, whatever we're going to call it, is going to be, I hope they are wise enough to make sure that it has either the the ability to
expand.
The word
is
escaping me. The flexibility, I guess, to alter the stadium.
I'm sure you would.
Like the field and stuff like that?
Yeah, because in Vegas, they literally cannot host the World Cup. Here, it's Las Vegas of all cities. They can never host a World Cup match based on their stadium because they built it incorrectly. I'm just saying the next Arrowhead out of the Legends, if we're talking about 2038 and still having it here in Kansas City, the World Cup again, if it comes back, then we've got to make sure that that stadium is correct. It'll be a dome stadium too, so that'll be the difference. But the field dimensions matter, and I don't know if they've said if they're doing the retractable grass field and all that. We're going to talk about the
one thing with Legion is,
later.
but they do. If someone's looking, they have grass and turf. They did it for UNLV and stuff where they do it, but it's not wide enough. That's the problem. But they do have that.
Yeah, because like Arrowhead had to make changes. We all know that.
Turf and grass.
Arrowhead cut out seats, and then now they're putting the seats back in, but they needed to widen the field. They did not want to do that in Vegas or whatever on top of the $2 billion stadium. They said no.
How's that going? Is it back to Arrowhead down the outside and it's the FIFA stuff down?
I haven't driven by. I'm not sure.
Just curious.
It'll all be ready to go by preseason.
Oh, 100% it will be.
They had to cut all the grass out, which we're going to discuss that in the 1 o'clock hour today, where the players are making this push, trying to get the playing surfaces all to be grass, which would be an obvious thing.
It did look
but
good. It did look
great.
great.
It looked great. Yeah, it looked incredible.
There were no major injuries, really. There was one, Onana tore his ACL, but that was more of a...
And I get it. There's a difference between soccer players
contact.
and offense. When you're dealing with just the way the American football is played and what it does for the grass surface. But I don't think the grass stuff is ever happening in these stadiums unless they get into the CBA. So as much as the players were sitting out these tweets all weekend, and they're correct. I don't disagree with anything they said.
Except Arrowhead doesn't fall into that because it's grass field.
Sure. Well, they're not talking about Arrowhead. They're obviously talking about MetLife, and they're talking
George
about...
Kittle's been very vocal about the stuff.
Big time.
Yeah. And they're right, but I just think unless you get it written in the CBA, these owners are not going to suddenly have an epiphany and be like, you know what? You guys are right. We should just go back to all grass and all. Like, that's just not happening. They can put all the pressure. I think it's smart. Put the pressure on the owners and bring it to people's attention. But that's something the players are going to have to deal with in the CBA.
It would be in there because they say, hey, you did it for the World Cup. That's what Kittle said. Yeah, you did it for them. Do it for us.
Someone says on the text line, 913-586-7965, I doubt they would repeat host cities aside from LA and New York. I get it. That's what I thought before. I guess that's what I'm saying is I thought that exact thing before the World Cup started. We all recognize if the World Cup ever comes back to the United States, maybe it's 2038, of course, LA and New York will once again be involved.
I
would have thought there was no chance Kansas City would get it again. I'm just saying it was such a success here. I think we've got a great chance to get it in Kansas City again, whenever that time is. Maybe it's 2038.
You'd have those cities on the outside that really tried to get it, like Denver, but they didn't want to spend the extra money to do it.
St. Louis wanted it.
I think Nashville could get it. If it's not Kansas City, if they get rid of Kansas City with the new stadium, and Nashville is also a pretty big soccer city anyways as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
With their soccer club, I feels like Nashville would be the one that might take it from.
I just think it was just so well done here and smooth that and they still like being in the Midwest and the way it worked out for the fact that we had as many countries with base camp here. Yeah. I would have said there was maybe a 1% chance we'd ever get it back in our lifetime in Kansas City. I think it's like I don't want to say 50-50, but it's certainly above 30 or 40%.
Well, what helped you is there was 4 teams that had base camps here. I think the most in any other city was 2, I think, or maybe about 1. Kansas City doubled or almost tripled every other team that had base camps because they were spread around. But we had 4, which is by far the most that had base camps in their town.
It would feel weird, like all the promotion for soccer capital of the U.S. and all of this stuff to not have it be here if they came back again.
Make no mistake about it, the ratings for Team USA being number 1 in Kansas City every single time they played without a Team USA game here in Kansas City helps the cause as well. And the fact that whenever they would show national watch parties for Team USA, guess what? It was always power and light.
Yeah, and all that was a big reason why we got it in the first place. And of course, Kathy Nelson and everybody involved with the Sports Commission and everybody involved in the entire process did a killer job winning the bid, but then also executing it. And we all know, like, even the giant heart that everybody loved, and they're going to find a place for that here to keep that in Kansas City.
The Argentinian communication trailer. I mean,
communication.
People want that.
Yeah, maybe that's why Cody's gone today. Maybe he's buying that.
Might be.
You guys told me that was something last week that was going on.
Maybe setting it up in the backyard.
Seems like a waste of money.
He wants it, Gold.
In his backyard.
The way he was describing
He's going to put his mower in it.
The way he was describing he genuinely
he can just buy a
wanted it,
shed.
Cody.
He knows that, right?
Gold.
He knows that. What's
Co-
that?
Co- Cody wanted. You could tell just by the way he would talk about it. He wanted that trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would like it if they got it for free. I'm saying the price is $40,000 and you have to have a crane haul it away.
Well, he was going to have to take a fence out, too, in parts, too.
Yeah, that was going to be the difficult part.
Somebody texted in and just told me that works over at Arrowhead, that it's still FIFA-ized at Arrowhead, but they've started getting the inside to NFL readiness. So the outside still has the FIFA stuff, but I don't know if that means that they've already cut the grass out or what.
They got time. They got a month.
That's
longer than that.
They do. That is very true. All right, you guys fill me in on the trailer stuff because I was not here. I was in the DR. It was a great trip. Went with some friends. I've been wanting to go there at some point in Punta Cana and finally made it happen. Just chilled, beach, pool, all that kind of stuff.
Glad you're not dead.
So we went to Coco Bongo. If anybody's been to Punta Cana or Cancun, it's a very popular club / show venue. And they've got, tables and it's a club, right? So it's that atmosphere. And the way it works is, for I would say for 10 or 15 minutes, it's like hardcore club music and it's that vibe. And then they cycle through to different acts. So there's like some acrobatics in the air and they do, a Freddie Mercury type of theme. And they did a theme for Bruno Mars and Michael Jackson and Beetlejuice. The Mask, Jim Carrey's The Mask is like Coco Bongo. That's where the whole name comes from and everything. So it's that vibe. It was a blast. It started at like 8:45 at night, goes till past 1 o'clock in the morning. And so it's the only time we went off resort because they had a package through the hotel. They had a bus ready for us and everything. And so it was very safe in that regard. Because again, you're in the Dominican Republic. You really don't want to venture off resort. Anyway, so we're there, we're having a great time. And because as I said earlier, like the dollar goes kind of far in the DR, so we got a table. It was not that expensive, okay? We got a table. And so we had a bottle. We're there, we're hanging out. Eventually, like an hour or two in, I noticed there's this woman that suddenly is like to our left, but was not with any table. She's just there. They let her up there, like in the area we were at, okay? All right, I noticed it, but whatever. And I think she's with two guys, like a row or two in front of us on the floor. And so that part was just like a little weird at first. And eventually she starts talking to me. And she's beautiful, all right? She's beautiful. At first, my radar's kind of going off. I'm thinking, Bink might be a prostitute. That's kind of what I thought at the time. So we're talking some more. Night continues, dancing, etc. Eventually, I get the I don't think she was that.
Oh, you danced with her?
Yeah, she was right next to us. We're up on the area.
A fast dance, slow dance? What kind of
it's
dance?
Club music, so it's not slow. There's no slow dance, but
Alex dances.
I do. In that atmosphere,
Rob's wedding,
I do.
I saw Drew.
At the club and we're drinking. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Anyway, that's not the story, though.
Yeah, okay, continue. And then I got a question.
Then you can make fun of me for dancing later.
I have a question about it.
So the night continues. Eventually, we share like Instagram accounts or whatever. She follows me, I follow her.
Oh, had this been Drew, it would have been sure.
So she's like, profile's real. She turned out she's a model in the Dominican Republic.
Maybe.
No, I mean, I showed you the photos. So anyway.
Maybe.
So that happens. 3 we're already back at the resort. My friends are not with her, okay? My friends we're back at the resort. She messages me at 3 o'clock in the morning. She's like, oh, here's where I live in the DR. Here's the beach. You should come hang out at the beach. I love all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, there is no chance. But you can come to the resort. There's no way I'm going off resort. 15-minute Uber ride is what it would have been. 15-minute Uber ride to her place. Bink.
Sketchy, so much.
So sketch. If this was the United States, different scenario. In the Dominican Republic. So I had some people I told this story to over the weekend, and they said I was an idiot for not pursuing it. I said I didn't want to die. I said I didn't want to get robbed.
Yes.
The text line earlier said, everybody was mentioning something about my kidneys. They said there's some black market for harvesting organs there. I'm pretty sure I avoided getting kidnapped or had
you made the right decision.
The hotel didn't warn you at all, like on the bus before, like,
what do you
hey.
mean? No, they didn't say be aware of the person that might want to cut your kidneys out.
No, just like, hey, just come back on the bus. Don't venture out at 3 a.m. or whatever.
I was never, 3 a.m. was definitely never happening. She didn't message me until we were already back at the resort. She, the next day, wanted me to go to her place. But that was still a terrible idea. Terrible idea.
Yes, it would have been a terrible idea. I'm glad he didn't go because the story could have been much different today.
People are asking for her name. Also, I mean, her Instagram handle, because we think she's maybe up to bad stuff. Sure.
Send her some shirtless Drew.
Drew? Yeah. I'm just telling you, this seems like we're in this club. We're one of very few Americans there, sticking out like a sore thumb. I'm probably the tallest person in the place. We're up in the table area. Yeah. I'm just saying it was the whole thing did not feel right. And so again, I did not go there.
Smart idea.
Yeah.
Let's go back to you dancing.
Okay.
Someone said,
what kind of dancing
your
was
inner
it?
boom boom.
What kind of dancing was it? Like full body dance? Or you shake your head a little bit, or I mean,
Is this
It's
like
vibing.
was
It's
this
vibing.
like electronic music or
when it was on the
music?
for what? I mean, I showed you the video. Yeah, it was more techno-y stuff. When it was club, but then it was a show as well. I put it on my Instagram over the weekend, and you can see what the acts that they had.
Were you like spinning her and stuff? Or?
Someone on the text line says, "I saw the pictures of her because they asked for the name. I think I'm risking it." No. See.
No.
I legit was like, I'm not that desperate.
It was
okay. I wasn't that desperate in the moment. Thank you very much. But no.
3 a.m. sometimes you make bad decisions.
Some people do. I chose not to.
In this was a very good decision.
I chose not to.
Great decision, Alex.
And this is the next day.
We're proud of you.
There was no way.
We're proud of you.
If she would have come to the resort, then sure, why not? I got nothing to lose at that point in time.
See, this person is
go ahead.
Where you're almost concerned about some of society. I mean, if she's hot enough, you have 2 kidneys.
I mean, somebody on the text line earlier sent a link to us, and it was apparently this is a thing down there. Not only I thought I was gonna show up and there'd be 2 other guys there robbing me or whatever, and I would just get robbed, which is bad enough. The other people are acting like it would have been far worse than that.
You know what you came down with? It's a very common thing that you came down with, Alex.
Text line.
It's called stripper syndrome. And
we're not at a strip club.
I know, but I mean, it's very similar. What I mean by that is she liked me. She liked me.
I didn't say
because she got you a bunch of lap dances with. I'm just saying this is what people say at strip bars. You take them in there first time
but
ever.
This wasn't a strip club.
He didn't say he had any of that.
I'm just saying she liked me. She liked me. Everybody thinks the stripper likes them when they go to a strip bar.
I didn't say any of that.
They like it, but she thought she liked you. It was stripper syndrome.
It sounds like you wanted to go on this tangent. If you've been waiting for the right moment.
I think Bink would have loved Coco Bongo.
You think the strippers
it
like
wasn't
you?
A strip.
It
was not a strip club though, Bink.
It does have, but I'm saying it's a similar type of deal where you think the girl likes you. The same type of stripper syndrome you get when you're at a strip bar thinking the stripper likes you. We've all got that friend or something says that blew all his money on lap dance and say,
but that's
well,
not
she
what
liked
happened,
me.
I guess is what I'm saying. That's not
yeah,
what
Gold
happened.
didn't come. Yeah,
I didn't spend a dime. She didn't even have a single drink
money
from our
gone.
bottle, by the way. We didn't even give her a
did.
single drink from the bottle we had at the table.
Gold, you almost came back without your kidney in your money.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with if I would have gone there the next day, I'm convinced I at bare minimum would have been robbed. Yes.
I think Drew and I might have had to go and find you.
Shocking, Drew. She hasn't messaged since she knows I'm out of the country. It's amazing how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says I would have been dead. Someone said they would have done it. Somebody else said she could have cut your kidneys out at the resort as well.
She says, hey, we have the World Cup here.
Brings a scalpel with her. Yeah.
Somebody said they wouldn't even do this in America.
Yeah, the whole thing was off, man. At first, again, I thought she was.
She got you to dance, man.
Well, that's fine. There's no harm in that. That's not a problem.
But Gold, you did think she liked you, correct, from the text line?
Oh, based on what she messaged, sure.
Stripper syndrome.
For sure. For sure.
You got caught up in
if she would have said she would have come to the resort, I would have, because then she would have just been on the beach, public beach. Sure, I would have been fine. And
Bink, have you been in the situation that you're talking about?
Here we go.
Yes,
yeah.
I have.
Oh yeah.
But it's people, guys I've gone with because you see them like they're shedding all this money for lap dance. Like, what are you doing? Well, she likes me. No, she doesn't. She's trying to sell you and get more lap dance. She doesn't like you. You're ugly. You've always been ugly. Your mama even thinks you're ugly. The stripper doesn't think you're cute. Stop spending money.
Some of you are being ridiculous on the text line right
Some
now.
of these texts are crazy.
Some of you guys are being ridiculous.
Some of these.
I can send you her Instagram profile for those of you sending in those texts.
You were getting worked.
Oh, nothing No, I handled it. Nothing happened.
You did the right thing, but I'm saying you were getting worked.
I'll always talk to somebody at a club. There's no harm in that. So that's not. I don't think that was weird.
You did everything right.
I don't think that was weird at all.
You did everything right. You did everything right.
That's what I'm saying.
You backed up. You didn't go forward.
Someone says, "What's the Instagram handle?" I'll respond to those of you asking for it. That's fun. I'm not making this up. I can't trust me. I'm not making any of this up. I will. I will type in. I'm not going to say it on air. I don't think
she
that
liked
seems like
me.
a bad idea.
I'm going back next week. She liked me.
I didn't. That's not what I said either.
Bink, he's not taking a trip back just because of this woman.
I'm talking about strip bars, Drew. When guys go to strip bars.
I understand that.
All right. Those of you asking for her account, I'm sending you her username now.
Bink, I totally understand.
Drew, you been to a strip bar?
No.
Let's go.
No.
Because I want to see how you act. I want to see how you behave. If you think the stripper likes you.
I will purposefully act.
If you scoot around between different stages.
Now that you said that.
I had a buddy at one strip bar. They called him Scooter. The strippers called him Scooter because he'd scoot between each stage. He was in my fraternity. We called him Scooter.
That person goes too often. You got a nickname?
Oh, my God.
He'd never been the one. Never wanted to go to one. He goes to a strip bar.
Man.
Oh, man, the strippers loved him. He'd scoot around between them all.
Okay.
I want to go to a strip bar with you, Drew, and just see how you'd behave.
That's not going to happen.
All right, up next. Let's get back into the Chiefs a little bit. Who has the most to lose on the Chiefs?
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
It's the summer sales event at Robside Ford. Your chance to upgrade without the stress. Robside joins me now. Rob, what's the offer?
0% financing, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on nearly the entire Ford lineup.
That's a serious summer deal.
Sure is. And unlike your brisket last weekend, these deals aren't dry.
Okay, that's fair. These savings are definitely juicy.
And we're backing it up with 2 years of complimentary maintenance, a non-commissioned sales team, and top trade-in values.
No pressure, no gimmicks at Robside Ford. The way car buying should be.
We're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer, 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 Google reviews, and a better experience from start to finish.
So skip the smoke and the dry meat. This summer, start at Robside Ford.
135th and State Line or robsighc.com. 0% financing, $0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, and 2 years of complimentary maintenance.
Robside Ford, buy right, drive happy. And next time, maybe stick to potato salad.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Joint pain's awful when you're the person fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only one affected by it. Maybe you love someone who struggles with joint pain, and you see it. You see what they don't say. You see what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July, and the days are long, and the light hangs around, and you want to be outside moving, playing, and living. But instead, you're sitting it out. Let's get your life back at QC Kinetics. That's what they do every single day. People who are stuck in that cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, and backs are finally stepping out of it with QC Kinetics. They offer regenerative treatments done right in the office. No surgery, no long recovery, and no putting your life on hold. Just real relief. So it's time for you to go see my friends over at QC Kinetics and get that free consultation. Call them at 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal too, right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid.
Nice.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends August 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
The Colonel is the king of chicken. That's why he's always had a beef with beef. But on Wednesdays, he's squashing the beef by frying it. KFC Country Fried Steak is here for only $4.99. Crispy golden outside, tender steak inside. Served with peppery gravy, mashed potatoes, coleslaw, and a biscuit. At last, the Colonel and beef buried the hatchet in gravy. Get the $4.99 Country Fried Steak Wednesdays for a limited time only at KFC.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax, tip, and fees extra.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $49. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, back here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Drew Nixon, Jay Binkley with you. We'll get to the random question of the day here in about 10 minutes or so. More text coming in, Bink. Someone says, kidney bait for sure.
Yeah.
Someone says, you made the right choice. I think so. I think I did.
Some of the best choices are ones you didn't make.
That's right. That's true. We also have a Brandon Ayuk update. Did you see his latest IG story he just put out as he continues to go through it?
Oh, no.
This offseason. His latest from 5 minutes ago. I guess it's been a little more than 5 minutes, but from earlier today. The screenshot said 5 minutes. That's my fault. Says, Coach, want me to come back so I can draw all the coverage and make it easy for the guys that remind him of himself from back in his heyday.
Wow.
Thumbs down, laughing emoji, trash. Can.
He's making a lot of friends.
Taking a shot at Kyle Shanahan.
Even taking shots at him and John Elway. Very much so.
Oh, John Lynch. John Lynch.
John Lynch,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's
yes.
making friends.
I mean, what a man.
Jake Daniels loves him now.
Again, they can play hardball. He doesn't count against the cap or anything. They can just let him talk all he wants. And once the season starts, I don't buy it being a distraction. I really don't. Like he's not there. He's not against the cap. Let this dude just sit his ass on the bench all year. At home, I should say. He's not going to be on the bench. The only way it gets tough and where they have to move on from is if he starts showing up. Then it forces something to be different.
Well, the noise died down with the Chiefs fans that wanted Brandon Ayuk.
Well, I would hope so if I was.
That died down because that was out there.
Yeah.
Until he went all,
I don't know,
crazy talk.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. All right, let's talk a little Chiefs football. And Arrowhead Pride had put out an article over the weekend talking about the Chiefs player with the most career move at stake here, or most at stake for their career as a whole. And they listed Jalen Moore number one, and I think I get why. Jalen Moore, contract year, hasn't started a full season as an NFL career. If he goes out and plays all 17 and looks serviceable even, he's maybe in for an extension here, if not somewhere else. If not, he's probably never starting again anywhere in the National Football League, and the Chiefs will move on, et cetera. So I understand that name. I think he's on the list. I told you that I think Xavier Worthy is also on this for different reasons. He's got multiple years left on his rookie deal, but if he takes a leap in year 3, and this is the year, if it's going to happen, it feels like it's going to happen this year. Last year, we can all acknowledge, hey, 3 plays in, shoulder injury, ankle injury, you're not right all year. The wide receiver coach was a disaster. This offense wasn't good last year. All that, I'll give him a bit of a pass. But this is year 3. This is your time to show that you're not just going to be another dude in the league where, you're a 500, 600-yard receiver in the league. Can he take a leap to being 800-plus yards? I mean, 900-plus, truly, if we're being honest. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I'm still bullish on his career. But if he wants to potentially be in line for a big payday down the road in the NFL, this is, to me, the year where that leap is going to have to happen for him. So I would say there's a ton at stake for Worthy's career, not in terms of job security, but for him to put himself down a different track of tier of wide receiver versus just being no different than McCole Hardman or somebody like that.
I agree on both those guys. I think that you can make an argument that it's a huge year for both of them. But to me, it's Rashee Rice, and that's where financially, professionally, everything happens for what he does going forward. And we joked around. Nate Taylor came in here for an hour last week when you're gone. We're talking Chiefs, and he just came back from vacation. And I said, wasn't it nice to actually be on a vacation where you didn't have to put out a story or a Chief get in trouble because, knock on wood, they show up Friday, or at least the rookies and quarterbacks do, that you didn't have nonsense going on between the time they stop mandatory minicamp and show up for training camp. So you didn't have to deal with that. But as far as professionally and incentive-wise, I mean, the Chiefs are in a good spot, not financially with the deal, but for an incentive for the wide receiver to go out and perform and have his best year out there because of what he can get in his own personal life. So, and also for the team to have a number 1 wide receiver they can count on. Because that's the thing, as I've told you, every quarterback needs that guy, that dependable guy that you go to. If Travis is getting double coverage, you have to have the other guy you bounce off of. And Rashee Rice and Kelsey do work well together when they're on the field as far as with coverage and everything else. Like Kelsey, I thought was better once Rashee Rice came back because they do a lot of the same dirty work type of routes and everything else. So he's got a lot to gain, the most to gain, in my opinion, of any Kansas City Chief.
Yeah, Rice is obvious as well.
That's an obvious one.
We all know the circumstances there and his entire future and all the self-inflicted stuff. Worthy is just more about what tier of wide receiver it has become. Because I don't really have any question about Rashee Rice talent and ability. And we've to me, seen that he potentially has that ability to be the 1,200-plus yard receiver. I'm not saying he's done it yet, but I think we've all seen that if he can be on the field, he can do it. Xavier Worthy, we don't know if he can yet. We don't know if he can become a Devonta Smith type moving forward. We don't know that answer. This is a big year for that and for him. Somebody else earlier texted in just some other names. Someone said Nick Bolton. I disagree with that. For like, what's at stake? He just got a new contract a year ago. What's really at stake for his
cap
career?
Hit, I guess the Chiefs would pay on him in year 2.
But for his own career, like I think Nick Bolton's where he's at. I mean, he is at this point in time. Yeah, Spags loves him. He's 26 years old. Like I don't think there's like a leap forward. Do you? I mean, in fact, ESPN put out their top 10 NFL linebacker rankings. He dropped down a little bit. Did Nick Bolton from a year ago?
He has the highest tackle rate though, but
he's eighth on the list. He was ranked as high as 3rd by some NFL executives.
He's the defensive guy. I mean, it's the green dot. That's your defensive star. It's Mahomes on offense, and then Bolton on defense.
If it's defense, even Shamari Connor, I think to an extent, we didn't mention him earlier, but the amount of times that he was kind of taken advantage of over the course of the season last year, he's going into year 3 or 4 now. If not, I don't think it's 2. Certainly not. It's been a few years that Shamari Connor's been there. I don't know if they would go safety again. Obviously, they wouldn't do it early on, but him or a pass rusher like Ashton Gelati. But if you're going into because you could say the same thing about Ashton Gelati, kind of like Noah Williams, not from a career standpoint, but from you're standing within this team where if Noah Williams looks fine, he doesn't look as good as he did last year, but is he capable of having the starting reps and being that guy to be on the opposite of Mansour Delane, the same as who is going to be who's capable of being opposite of George Karlaftis. I think that's the only defensive questions really are anybody on edge or at edge or maybe somebody at safety. It feels, from a career standpoint, tough to look at anybody or many people on the defense.
Somebody else texted in and said Harrison Butker with 2 back-to-back off years. Yeah, I mean, I think career-wise, I mean, if you think he's going to continue his career in Kansas City, I agree with that. It's a big year for him. Financially, they're kind of stuck, but after this year, there's a path. We all know he's come up with some of the most clutch kicks in the NFL over the last 10 years, certainly the most clutch kicks in Chiefs history. Nobody's changing that. But the stats show you can make whatever excuse you want from he kicks a lot of long field goals. We looked it up. He actually didn't kick any longer ones than anybody else last year. His field goal percentage is way down. He's below the top half of the league now the last couple of years. So it's a big year for that. I kind of buy into that. Ultimately, all I care about is his kicks in the postseason if they get back to the postseason. But, yeah, I think mentioning Butker is fair. His future very much is in play with Kansas City, depending on his year. Does he get back to being one of the top, let's call it 10 kickers in football? Or is he what he is now? And he's 20th, which is what he has been.
I think people put Bolton on here, by the way, going back to that. 19.25 is his cap hit this year.
Okay. And what is it next year?
And it's potential out, 27. 2 years, $30 million dead cap. But here's the thing. His dead cap this year is 23.5.
And what's the dead cap next year?
4.2.
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference. And $19,250,000 is the cap hit. So they potentially can get out. So I can see where they're saying it's a big year for him.
Yeah, to me, he would have to be injured all year and just horrific for them not to keep him. Like, I just think, as you said, he's the green dot. He's the guy Spags trusts. Now, I guess in this scenario, let's say worst case scenario stuff this year. The team isn't good again, missed the playoffs, entire regime change. That's a whole different conversation at that point. But assuming that they are back to at least being a playoff team this year, I just don't see in that scenario where Nick Bolton was terrible. We all know the coverage issues for Nick Bolton, right? But all the other stuff they think is still worth. I think it's gone overboard. The hate at times that Nick Bolton gets from people. I understand he's not
23 snaps in the slot. It was just spotlighted when he was out there.
When he's on coverage, it's a problem. I think we all recognize that. But in the run game, if we want to debate whether or not they should have paid him, that's more than fair. How you would build out your roster. This organization has made some decisions in terms of building out the roster that maybe you would do differently. There's certainly some guys that they retained that I'm surprised they retained. But we don't need to act like he's not a good football player or anything. That's a little bit
from
much.
The 7-2-0. I think it should be Mahomes. This is Mahomes' second run coming off an ACL. Will he continue to chase Tom, or will he be the next Roethlisberger or a Russ? It feels
now we're getting into the career change. Like, I guess, it depends how we want to look at
conversation.
Yeah, because at stake, I mentioned Worthy because it changes his path in terms of financial path. For Rice, it's his financial path and job security. For Jalen Moore, it's his financial path and job security. For Mahomes, I agree with you in terms of him proving once again he's the best quarterback in football. That's very much at stake this year. But obviously, he's not going anywhere. His contract, he just got a new contract. Mm-hmm. That's just a different conversation, I guess, for me, from what we were having. But if you're just saying for his standing in the league and to prove he's still the best quarterback, heck, the ESPN list had him number 2, I think, last week.
Yep.
Yeah, for that kind of stuff, then of course it's a massive year. Yeah.
Hey, my whole problem with that is putting him anywhere else than 1 was crazy to me because 7 out of 8 seasons he's made the AFC title game. 7 out of 8.
Yeah.
And he's gotten to 5 Super Bowls in that span. So 1 year off, let's calm down on that. 7 of 8 years he's been in the AFC title game. He has 17 playoff wins as well since he started. So let's calm on that. He's 4-0 versus Josh Allen in the postseason too. Let's back the bus up here.
All right, let's get to the random question of the day.
Random question.
913-586-7965, the random question of the day. I don't know if you guys saw the video clip yesterday in particular at the World Cup final. Tom Brady and Logan Paul. You guys see this, I'll just say dust up between the two. That's clearly a stunt. But basically, if you didn't see it, Tom Brady's been on this track of clearly trying to position himself to be part of something at WWE. I don't know if it's SummerSlam. I don't know. I don't follow wrestling.
So you got when he slapped him?
So he flipped him up. They traded middle fingers yesterday.
He slapped him at FanFest.
A couple days after Brady slapped Logan Paul during FanFest. Fanatics Fest, I'm sorry, up in Brooklyn. And now it seems like Brady's willing to just do all this stuff to eventually be part of what? Like one of these big WWE events that's coming up. The question, I don't know if you have thoughts on that, but the reason why it's a random question is, what Chiefs player would you want to see be part of a WWE stunt, I guess? Because that sure seems like Brady's doing. Brady's getting criticized because people are saying, this is beneath you. What are you doing, Tommy? What are you doing, Tommy? I don't know. He's post-playing career. He's a single guy. He can do whatever the hell he wants. He's doing all the different endorsements. Someone was critical of him because he's endorsing Pizza Hut now, and they said, that doesn't fit your lifestyle, Tom. He's getting a check. That's what he's doing at this point in time. He was dunking Gronk and Raisin Cane sauce at Fanatics Fest, too.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants.
What Chiefs player? The obvious one is Travis Kelce. I'm going to almost take him off the board. You can't pick him.
Well, you think about who really likes wrestling whenever they've had events in Kansas City. And early on, it was always Mahomes, Creed, and Trey. They'd be there together. The three of them would be at them together. Mm-hmm. I would say Trey and or Creed Humphrey. So either one of them, Creed or Trey Smith, I think would be the guys because they're into it. They would be good for it. They'd be perfect for it. So I would say those guys. Creed's the best center in the National Football League. Trey Smith looked at one of the best guards in the National Football League. I'd have those two guys. Pick your random person.
Creed Humphrey. Yeah.
But he loves wrestling because they were always there with Mahomes, right? Because Mahomes got into it one time. Remember WWE because they were coming after him and they stood up.
Yeah, that happened 2 years ago, I think. Maybe it was.
Yeah, so Mahomes would be awesome in it. I mean, obviously we know that. But Creed or Trey, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
I don't know if I mean...
Chris Jones would be good at this.
I think he would be good. It feels offensive line or defensive line-ish is the way I got to go with it. I think Chris Jones would be good. But you're right, Bing. I think you'd have to find somebody who likes the wrestling deal to...
What do you think of Tom Brady doing this?
Surprising. I'm not saying
it is surprising, isn't it?
I don't know if it's... I mean, to each their own. I'm a little surprised that Tom would
He's
be
now
the person to do
trying
this.
to insert himself in this made-up, this concocted storyline with his beef with Logan Paul out of nowhere for eventually some payoff at some point in time. Again, I don't know.
It's working because of all the people who believe it.
Oh, nobody actually believes that they... Come on. We all can see this a mile away. Everybody knows this is concocted.
I don't know, man.
You think Tom Brady's just out here flipping Logan Paul off because he actually hates him?
I think a lot of people actually know it's fake, but there's a lot of people that I don't think do.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
Who else would do it? I mean, maybe Noah Gray, something like that. Who would do it? Xavier Worthy.
Someone says they want to see Andy Reid be part of this.
Oh, Reid would be awesome.
Andy would definitely sell it, in terms of being of making it a good time.
He could be the manager of like Trey Smith or Creed Humphrey coming out there.
This was the article from Mike Florio, by the way. I'll just read you a snippet of it. While we fully support the slapping of Logan Paul, Brady is better than this. It's beneath him to be, I don't know if I can say that on the radio, messing around with some goofy WWE storyline. The word they used was not that, and I don't know if I can say that on the radio.
And Florio. I have no problem with it. Let him be who he wants to be, man. He wants to go there and have fun. Let him have fun. He wants to. Seeing Tom in the ring would be hilarious. Most unathletic.
Part of me wants to believe, someone said, part of me wants me to believe it's real because I would really like to slap either of the Paul brothers. Yeah. That's why even Florio said, like, nobody's going to slap Logan Paul all you want. But I don't know, man. I don't watch wrestling either. This doesn't really bug me.
I don't watch wrestling.
If Tom Brady wants to get involved in this and have eventually a big appearance or whatever, so be it. I mean,
no problem with that.
To me, this is not even that much different than he did the roast to Tom Brady on Netflix. Yeah. He did it because they were paying him, and he's like, yeah, whatever, it's fun. I'll do it.
Having fun.
And that's what he's doing with this too.
Buying part.
Now
of the
it is
Raiders.
weird. The part owner of the Raiders is
weird,
out here.
yeah.
That's the part that's a little bit different.
Lead broadcaster for Fox, for NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest of all time with Super Bowl wins. But again, do whatever he wants. No problem with that.
All right, that's the random question of the day. I don't know if you'd like that or not.
There was a text that came in. I'm a little bit worried about my trip to the Outer Banks. Not worried about my trip to the Outer Banks,
but
I'm intrigued.
What text?
Let me find it. From the A16.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, the largest male great white shark was tagged in North Carolina in the Outer Banks.
Oh, and that's where you're going next week.
That's where I'm going. I did look it up. 14 feet, 1,700 pounds.
Yeah, so you're way more
It has a
likely
name, contender.
You're way more likely to encounter sharks. When I was in the DR, I looked it up ahead of time. Apparently, because of the coral reef nearby, or so. Anyway, there's like no sharks in the Dominican Republic. Now you might get kidnapped. That's the trade-off. You can pick the sharks in the water, or you get kidnapped. You're choosing the shark in the water instead of maybe getting kidnapped or drugged.
Interesting, and I do enjoy going in the water, and you know the Atlantic Ocean isn't as clear as like the Gulf of Mexico or down like in the Caribbean or like South Florida. So
there's been a spike of shark.
Yeah, this is interesting.
They've been drones and stuff out there.
The drones are helping with this, though.
But there's a ton of sharks out there now. That's a resurgence
says the exact
of sharks.
location is not known, but the shark is likely heading up the East Coast as part of the shark's annual summer migration. So let's hope by the time I get there next week that...
Have you ever seen a shark while you're at Outer Banks?
Ooh.
Or
in the Outer Banks, no, but in the ocean, yes.
It's also Shark Week next week, too, isn't it?
Is it really? I've been...
Sharknado.
Probably
7.
from me to you, close to a shark before in the ocean.
That's what?
Didn't realize it.
What kind of shark? Like, obviously not a. There's different types of sharks, but
there
was. I don't want to say hammerhead because that's not. I don't think it was a hammerhead. Bull shark, maybe.
Bull shark. I know a bull shark got somebody in Missouri.
Bull shark,
Mississippi River.
There. When I was in Tampa visiting my sister, we were in the ocean, and there was the person who, ironically enough, scuba dives was like, "Don't move. Hey guys, don't move." And we're like, "What do you mean?" Like, there's a shark like 10 feet behind you right now.
Don't move. Don't move.
Yeah.
Quick AI search says shark activity in the Atlantic has been rising this summer, with more sightings reported along the U.S. East Coast and beyond, attributed to seasonal migration, warming
that's what
waters.
Drew was saying.
Yeah.
So this is a thing, though. So I'm
northward
surprised
migration.
I wonder if it's just because this shark is so big.
That's why I got that.
Did you know that?
Because we see dolphins all the time out there as well.
Did you know sharks have 2 penises?
Gosh, here we go.
I'm not kidding. Do you know that?
No, I did not.
They do. We're talking sharks. I just thought I'd throw it out there. Alex is looking it up.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to move on to something else and find a drop in the system.
Unnecessary.
You guys don't believe me? Look it up.
I might have to save that one.
Male sharks have 2 reproductive organs called claspers, which function similarly to a blank, but only one is used at a time during mating.
You're not having a full-size experience.
So they have 2 clasps. I knew sharks had 2 penises.
You would have to spread it out.
Would you? You sure?
Huh. Hey, yeah.
And I watch Shark Week every year.
Huh.
You do come across as a person who would be binge watching Shark Week. Yeah,
I have a T-shirt that says it's Shark Week.
Cool.
Exactly.
Cool story, man.
Exactly.
Cool. Thanks.
Now you know something you didn't know yesterday.
That is, I will give you that. I did not know, Bink.
It's going to be the next line that Gold uses when he's in Punta.
Oh, talk to Vern.
Is there beef?
I don't know. He's got to tell me. I don't know. This is someone brought this to my attention. This happened this morning.
Josh Fringer can kick Alex Gold's ass.
Wow.
Vern apparently was asked, who at the stations asked, could you kick? And that's Dusty repeating it, but I got to find the actual audio of Vern say that. I got to talk to Vern on Wednesday.
Wow.
See where this is coming from.
Huh. He's got beef.
Yeah, it's not. Hold on a second. Maybe it's saved. Is it in our folder?
I'm not sure.
No, the drop's in the folder from Dusty. I don't know.
Right? I'm not sure.
I don't know. We need to hear it straight from Vern.
That'd be a fun fight.
I don't know. Would it? Cody and I once tried to arrange a full-blown fight.
Heard.
We looked it up. Boxing commission. We were going to do a charity boxing match. Cody and I were going to train at a boxing place that no longer exists in Kansas City, and we were going to do the whole thing. I'm down for that still.
You and Vern be a good fight.
I'd have the reach.
You would have the reach.
That might be about it, though.
It depends on if the Royals lost or not, because he can be pesky and fight.
Yeah, that's true. You know, Vert right now with the blood pressure is very high, and you know the tempers are flaring for sure. That's very true. All right, up next, we're a week away from camp in St. Joe. Let's talk more about last year carrying over this year, but Bink thinks maybe in a positive way. We'll do that next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Is your garage door too loud and whining for help? Overhead Door Company of Kansas City will make it all better. They will perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City at 816-221-0072 or schedule online at overheaddoorkc.com.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Fanatic Sportsbook makes every baseball game day this season hit harder. Swing for the fences with long ball jackpots. Just pick the player who hits the longest homer of the day to win a share of $50K in fan cash. Every day brings a new shot to win. Customers also get baseball profit boosts every game day. And your bets earn you fan cash, win or lose. To spend on merch, tickets, exclusive experiences, and more. Go deep this baseball season and download Fanatic Sportsbook today for the best baseball betting experience each and every game day. Fanatic Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MyReset. CT call 888-789-7777. MA call 800-327-5050. NY call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Offer not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatic Sportsbook app.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and an 8% give of alcohol. Dial up the fun with Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
It's either C-Dot
Cody's
or...
out?
Yeah. Cody's seen some stuff, man. Cody's not going. All right. Cody's not going to stop until he's dead. Yeah, it's Gold. I don't want to fight Gold. I love Gold, but I think I could handle Gold.
That was it this morning.
Wow.
That's what happened. Vern joins this show on Wednesday. Can't wait to talk about this. There it is. You thought I was making it up. I was told that happened. You just heard the audio.
Said he did like
Drew
you,
found
though.
it during the break.
Said he did
I
like
appreciate
you.
it. I like Vern.
Yeah, said he could still beat your ass.
Sounds like we got to fight it out, though, you know? Okay.
We'll set it at 3 rounds, 2 minutes a round.
Yeah, and instead of having Vern come in here, instead of having Vern talk about the Royals, let's actually have that. The segment will be a 10-minute. It will be a 10-minute fight that you guys can handle.
I think Vern should come in. I think
you versus him.
Vern should come in studio on Wednesday now. After that comment, in studio Wednesday, 12:30.
No Royals talk.
No, we don't.
It'll just be you guys.
That's it. Yep.
Would you punch him first or try to wrestle him down and then do it?
I would. Well, are we boxing or are we doing MMA? Those are two different things.
Just beating him up. What would you do? What would you do first to Vern? Punch him in the face?
Yeah, I think you go with the punch first. Yeah.
And uppercut him?
Yeah. I can't even stop laughing.
Knee to the forehead?
Yeah. Exactly. How tall's Vern?
5'10", maybe.
Yeah, see, that's the advantage I got.
Bink doing commentary as well.
Oh,
someone on the text line said Bink should have chosen, or Vern should have chosen Bink. He said that you're going to beat you up.
No.
That'd be great. That'd be terrific.
Vern and I go back a long way.
I know you guys do. I know you do.
Why
the sigh? Why the long sigh?
We almost got into it.
You've called out Vern a number of times.
It's vice versa too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Vern and I. We wouldn't throw down.
No,
I like the little guy too much.
The little guy too much.
Yo.
Wow. Huh.
My little buddy.
Wow.
You're the unk.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's my little buddy.
You ain't as pretty as Jack.
All right, Vern. We'll talk on Wednesday. We'll talk on Wednesday. All right. 913-586-7965. Jay Southland Tow Service text line. Before we get into betting controversy in the National Football League, and I can promise you I'm not related to that individual out in Arizona. I'm not, despite the same last name. I had a few people text me.
No relative?
No relative in Arizona. I have no relative whatsoever with that name in Arizona. But before we get there, it's a week away from camp in St. Joe. We'll be broadcasting live, the only show, the only station up there on Monday. We will have a player join us each and every day from training camp, and we got some fun stuff planned. Looking forward to that. So you were trying to make the case that there's some positive still out of last year in terms of the 6-win part of it, in terms of what it causes you as an organization to do heading in to training camp next week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not make the playoffs is never good, but if you use it in the right way to kind of reset your team in the direction you're going, because again, I thought they were kind of on house money the way things are going, and it was still working. You know, didn't have receivers, everybody's getting hurt, but you're still getting to the Super Bowl with Xavier Worthy, and you know, Rashee Rice was hurt after week 4, and Hollywood Brown down, but you're still getting to the end and getting by with a bad running game and being able to getting there with Isaiah Pacheco and getting things done. You're kind of on borrowed time, and eventually teams are going to get caught up to you. So now what do the Chiefs do to respond? Because they've been punched. Now, how do they get up? How do they going to respond to the situation? You're off in January now. You don't have to worry about the playoffs. You're sitting at home, chilling, watching the Super Bowl. The scouting staff can spend more time. Not that they weren't scouting the players anyway, still in the postseason grind, but now the GM can get more involved in things like that when it comes to the players and Senior Bowl and the draft and the combine and taking more of a situation. It gives you a chance to kind of reset things. Clearly, the offense did it with the coaching staff, with new wide receiver coach, new running backs coach, new offensive coordinator, even though it's the same one, bringing him back. But they made changes. It gives you a chance to hit the reset button. That's why you hope they respond, because they had that opportunity. They hadn't had that opportunity before. They just kept the machine going. They kept the machine rolling. Whatever it took, they just kept it going. But then teams catch up to you. Now you hit the reset button because you were able to hit the reset button, because the NFL gave the Chiefs the reset button because they had 6 wins. So how are you going to respond coming off 6 wins? Because it's not going to be status quo. I don't think any of us think it's going to be status quo with the Chiefs again, like they had been in 7 straight AFC title games. Things are going well. You just plug and play. You just keep going. Next man up.
You were going to drag it out as long as possible.
Yeah, you win as long, and then it finally hit the wall.
Yeah, because you were winning, and so there was no reason to have a hard reset or anything like that, because you were going to 3 straight Super Bowls. It takes a year like last year to honestly cause you to look in the mirror a little bit. And we're going to find out ultimately with the results whether or not they made enough changes. I still think roster-wise, there's some changes that they weren't able to fix in one offseason. I think it's a 2-year fix, offense and defense. This year was more of a defensive offseason. I know they spent a ton of money on Ken Walker, but it was more of a defensive offseason than an offensive one, even though coaching staff-wise, there's a new wide receiver coach. There's a new OC, familiar one in Eric Bieniemy, but still a new offensive coordinator back in Eric Bieniemy. I do think, it was kind of time to pay the price a little bit, though, of extending out the run that they had. Nobody was going to blame them for that as well. I mean, you were in the middle of a dynasty, and you were maybe even contract-wise pushing some stuff down the road a bit more than you would have if you were in a different spot. And you paid the price a little bit, but it did cause you to rethink how you approach. And I would like to think, and this will be the biggest question of the year, did it cause Andy Reid to once again, which is what he's done throughout his career, adapt? And adapt enough. It's why he's been so successful going back to his days in Philly, and now he's always adapted. Can he show once again he's able to adapt to where we're at in the National Football League, and also maybe adapt and do some things that he hasn't always wanted to do in the past? I'm talking Mahomes. This goes to Mahomes too. We all know we've been talking about the RPO stuff all offseason. Are they willing to become less predictable there? Are they willing to acknowledge that? And I think they did with the front office, but is the coaching staff and front office on the same page? They went out and got more explosive at the running back position, spent way more money there than they have at all during this run. Are they going to actually, from a coaching end, utilize that in the correct fashion? Because we've heard in the past maybe that the front office and the coaching staff, whether it's through the draft or otherwise, they weren't maybe always on the same page.
Andy Reid's seen it all. Like, he has had to make these adjustments. When you coach 27 years, you're going to see it all. And when he first got into coaching, you're talking, inside linebackers, more of your 6'2", 6'3", 250, 255 type guys. You've seen it change now to where safeties, the hybrids, safeties coming up, playing linebackers, seeing it. The wide open spread out offenses instead of just the run game, how we switch from the run game to wide open passing attacks, 4 and 5 wide, come back, the running game, popular again now. He's seen it all. He's seen the cycles go back and forth and come back to where they were originally. And he's seen it. He's seen it with his own team, the way teams made adjustments. I thought Steve Young said something really good a couple years ago about the Chiefs, talking about the West Coast offense and how teams kind of got used to it and figured it out, and they had to make changes to it, and they did. And they were able to make the adjustments to it. Well, Andy Reid's had to make adjustments to his offense because of what defenses are doing and worrying about the 2 high safeties. And he's had to come back because everybody's adapting to him. When you have that target on your back and you've been to 5 Super Bowls, people are gunning for you, which makes it so much more difficult because you're getting everybody's best effort.
Yeah, do you think the way that the Chiefs are talking about this offseason nationally, which is people are discounting them, right? You're coming off a 6-win season. A lot of people are picking the Chargers. A lot of people are picking the Broncos. Some people are questioning Patrick Mahomes, of course, coming off the injury. Do you think that that's something they'll actually use to their advantage, or is that more of a, we say that all the time, like, oh, it's going to be fuel and all that. That stuff, the fuel should just be that they only won 6 games. The fuel, I don't even know if it's the national narrative.
The fuel is they got pride. They got Hall of Famers. Yeah. They got pride in what they're doing. 23 of the last 25 years coming into last season, teams that didn't make playoffs at all won the division. Like, wouldn't the Chiefs, like nationally when they're talking about NFL, like, wouldn't the Chiefs be at the top of that list for a team that didn't make the playoffs at all?
Yeah, they'll be a popular pick, although it's
they do it seemingly every year. It happens in the NFL. Why wouldn't it be the Chiefs? That's kind of the attitude. Why not us? They've been there before. They've done it. They've been tested.
Look,
they've gone to the Super Bowl. They've won it. Some of these teams like Josh Allen, stuff's like, can you get to the Super Bowl? They don't know because they've never done it. They've never actually been at Chiefs. They've been at 5. So they know they can do it. They know they can win it. So they got that part down. The mental side's already there. Like they've already proven they can do it in high-pressure situations. They know they can come back at the fourth quarter. They've done all that. Like, that's the good news for the Chiefs. That stuff's out of the way because they've already proven they can do it. So there's nothing you say, well, we got to get better in the fourth quarter. We got to do it. Well, they've done it. So that's the one advantage they have over anybody else.
No doubt they have. They have the same head coach, same quarterback. Chris Jones is still here. Travis Kelce is still here. But a lot of the roster, like there still is a decent chunk on the defensive side of the ball that hasn't, right? There's Nick Bolton, Chris Jones, and Karlaftis essentially on the defense. Other than that, if you want to count Snead, who's back for a second go, other than that, on the defensive side of the ball, they haven't. Now, Spags has been there and done that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of pieces of this roster that haven't actually done that.
Yeah, the coaching staff has and stuff. I mean, you hope that the leadership kind of runs through for the guys on defense that have done it. Just the expectations. Like when you're drafted by the Chiefs, you're drafted by a winning organization. Just like the draft picks last year, they knew what the deal was. The Chiefs are used to going to the Super Bowl. That's the expectations. Jaden Hicks, that's been here with the Kansas City Chiefs. He was drafted in 2024. He knew this run the Chiefs were on, what the expectations were going to be for that 24 and 25 season was to get to the Super Bowl. Xavier Worthy knew what the expectations were because he went to the Super Bowl. Didn't win one, but at least he went to it, so he knows that's the expectations when you're a member of the Chiefs. It's just not being good enough to get to the postseason, see like what they're probably talking about in Jacksonville. They got to the playoffs. What can they do? Can they win a playoff game? Or down in Houston, what they're talking about. They've won a playoff game the last 3 years. Like, how do they get over that hump? Because that's the one thing with the Texans when they're meeting for training camp. And you got C.J. Stroud and say, all right, here's the deal, C.J. You got three times more playoff wins than Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence combined. He does. Whether we want to laugh at him or what, but he has 3 times more playoff wins than Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert combined. How do we build off being one and done, winning that playoff game, and then losing? Those are expectations how to get over the hump. The Chiefs have proven they can get over that hump, which bodes well for them.
Thinking of camp next week, this morning, Albert Breer over at Sports Illustrated had his column, a little bit of an update. He had his biggest storylines heading into camp, and number 2 on the list of storylines was his insight that he has from people in Kansas City about Patrick Mahomes and what could happen this week. This is from Albert Breer. Quote, "There's an expectation among Chiefs people that Mahomes will be fully cleared this week, and also the knowledge that when they tell him he can go, he will really go. The plan is to be smart with it, make sure everyone is doing what's going to put him in the best position to be at his best from September through February, not just ready for week 1. So keep an eye on that. I mean, it makes sense. Training camp is next Monday, a week from today. But could we get the official word this week that he is fully cleared? Now, that doesn't mean the Chiefs still can't be extremely cautious what they allow him to do, but he can be medically fully cleared this week. That's the expectation and what Albert Breer is reporting today.
Well, it should be, and they'll be watching at camp. It'll be the A1 story at camp when national media comes, and NFL Network comes, and ESPN, and everybody else. How's Mahomes doing, and what's he doing? To be honest with you, it should have really illuminated in people's brains once ESPN picked him to be in the first Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, when they put Mahomes, when they put the Chiefs there to play the Denver Broncos, they had to have a great idea he was coming back. We all thought that same way. So him playing on day 1 doesn't surprise me whatsoever. It shouldn't surprise anybody because that's the way he's wired. It's the way he's made up of. He will be playing on game 1. Now, through the preseason, how much do we see him? Because we only see him.
I don't want to see him at all in preseason.
No, absolutely not. Justin Fields times. Justin Fields times. He sees it up in practice.
Yeah, I don't need it. I know some people try to make the argument, oh, well, let him get comfortable and acclimate. No,
like
that's what training camp's for. I'm not saying the Chiefs are definitive. I don't think there's any reason to see Patrick Mahomes in the preseason.
Agreed.
Not at all. Maybe the Chiefs will view it differently, but I just don't. I mean, when he's fully healthy, we've talked about, are we going to see him more than a series? So I don't see why, even if he's fully cleared.
But does he play like a series in game 2 of the preseason?
Maybe.
Very possible.
Wouldn't, but maybe so, yeah.
He could.
If they think he needs it. Like if he
wants to do it.
If he thinks he needs it, yeah, and if he pushes enough for it, he wants just that one series before Monday night's his first time out against the Broncos.
And even if he's not throwing, even if it's like 3 straight handoffs to Kenneth Walker.
Sure.
But backing up, handing the football off, just kind of getting in the feel of it.
We'll have a better idea once we get to camp, I think, on what that track is looking like. But nobody should be surprised that he might get cleared this week and cleared for camp and and ultimately by week 1 of the NFL season. Thinking of the NFL, at least we're not in Arizona. Not only is it going to be a terrible year for the Cardinals and their mess, but one of their employees is involved in at least allegedly violating the league's gambling policy. I know you talked about this probably last week when I was gone, but the latest update is interesting. So the attorney, for the Cardinals director of college scouting. Now, his name is Ryan Gold. Not related, I can promise you. No relation whatsoever between me and Ryan Gold. But he was suspended indefinitely last week for violating the league's gambling policy. He called the league's accusations blatantly false and said his attorney said his client is appealing that. Quote, Ryan Gold has been an outstanding NFL executive for over a decade. The accusations made by the league regarding his participation in prohibited gambling activities are blatantly false. We have demanded an appeal and we'll look forward to clearing his good name. The details that have come out since have been interesting because the attorney claims that Gold's wife, this guy, making $10 weekly bets, that it was his wife making $10 weekly bets with a group of high school friends on parlays, and that Gold was not involved. This is very weird for me to read this. He also said that Gold could not have divulged the Cardinals' draft picks because he didn't know who they were picking, and only the team owner and their general manager did. He said he doesn't believe the league's case against Gold is strong.
Well, you would know that information by being in meetings where they probably.
Oh, I'm not buying that this dude's wife was the one making the bets.
No.
At
That
come
is
on
the
now.
part to me
That's the defense that they could come up with. That's the best this attorney could do.
Yeah, that was the part to me that was
his
wife. It's the same thing when someone's caught with PEDs. I didn't know what I was taking. It's crap.
He's made his wife be the fall guy in this whole thing.
Yeah. Sounds like the wife is.
The NFL review included interviews with relevant people and an examination of electronic records. That's where this guy's screwed. So we're supposed to believe that your wife was logging into your, FanDuel or DraftKings account or whatever and making $10 wages just with friends.
Brendan Sorsby should have showed them all that they can find out whatever they want.
This guy was with the Cardinals for 13 years. He just got promoted 2 years ago or a year ago to director of college scouting, and now he potentially threw it all away. I don't get it. This is
for
the
$10 parlays.
I don't get it. Or who else was he giving the information to, though? Again, players cannot place any bet on NFL football, throw, fix, manipulate any NFL game, share confidential information, non-public information, or event with any third party. And that's what he allegedly did as an employee of the National Football League. So he's appealing it. I don't know. I mean, it feels like, barring some shocking evidence, it seems like this guy's screwed.
Of course, because the NFL's put the hammer down, so to speak, to borrow a phrase from Mitch, because the whole Brendan Sorsby deal say, we're not doing a supplemental draft. We don't want anything to do with this gambling story. So, of course, I'm going to take it lightly. They've already kind of made their thoughts known.
The parallels from the story are just, it is very ironic.
Yeah, a Gold is in trouble for betting, but it's not me. I promise you. It's a different Gold that's in trouble.
Yeah, because you can do it.
I definitely can. But it was very weird reading the article and hearing them just reference gold throughout the entire article related to gambling. I trust me. When I saw this over the weekend, I said, "Oh."
I laughed.
When I first saw the story initially, I was like, "Oh no!" And then I saw this claim from his attorney today his wife. Just reading the sentence, by the way, that says Gold's wife making that sentence is funny. That's all. He also said that Gold could not have divulged the draft picks.
He couldn't divulge the direction they're leaning?
That's what he said. He said, how did they catch him? It's a great question. They said they conducted interviews and then betting activity. I don't know if they were determining that he was unusual betting activity or somebody squealed. I have no idea.
So here's the question. You're promoted to head of college scouting.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to believe you have no idea which direction they're going to go because that's all you're drafting from.
Correct.
Is the college pool that went to the combine.
He may not have known the definitive decision, but come on now.
But you know the direction they're leaning.
Especially when you have a top 5 pick, you're drafting Jeremiah. Top 5 pick, Jeremiah Love is probably on the board. I mean, come on.
Are you drafting Jeremiah? Yeah, we're getting him. I mean, come on, man. Like I'm gonna believe a guy getting promoted to being the head of the college recruiting business have any idea what direction they're going to go?
Right.
I mean,
and if his wife really was betting, then she would have just made her own account, probably. I would assume.
You would
just to avoid that even being a question,
Yeah, I mean And maybe they have evidence of it. Otherwise, it feels like a terrible defense. She's trying to say, it's my wife. So then, like, that the wife was making the bad timing. Come on now.
I mean, they technically can have a gambling account. They just can't bet on the NFL.
Correct.
Like, had this been Major League Baseball, then fine.
Correct. Yeah. It's just, league personnel, club personnel cannot place a bet on any NFL, football, throw, fix, manipulate, NFL game or event. And
you can't do that. Like, you can't bet on baseball at the facility. Like, you can at your home, but not at the facility.
We rented that with, what's his name up in Minnesota? Was it Minnesota? Or no, Detroit, sorry. Jameson Williams or whatever, right? Jameson Williams? Yeah. Or Williamson or whatever his name is. The wide receiver.
I'd say knowing the director of college scouting is a good source.
And then I saw this morning too. So we all know the Shohei Ohtani stuff with the interpreter. ESPN announced today that they are going to release a new podcast series, 6 parts, called "The Betrayal of Shohei Ohtani." This is coming out at the end of the month, debuting July 28th. So next week.
Is Pablo Torre hosting?
No, this is not. Yeah. This is Tisha Thompson. She's the one who broke this story 2 years ago about this surprise. Remember they allege this large sums of money from Shohei's bank account to illegal bookmakers. Remember, they blamed the interpreter. They said it was the interpreter that did this. So this podcast, it's not out yet, but it says that it examines the surprising incident, but also the collapse of the friendship between Ohtani and this interpreter and the person who used the pitcher's money to cover gambling debts. It goes on to say the conversation, she says, Tisha Thompson represents one of the most important interviews she's ever done in her career, also the strangest interview she's ever done. Mentioning the details, 2023, 10-year contract, $700 million, obviously, for Shohei, and that in this, of course, it alleged that $3 million went missing from his bank account. He claims he had no idea, which is still always like, okay, come on. But this would be interesting if there's any real new information that comes out of this entire thing. But it goes on to say that one of the people servicing on the podcast is Matthew Boyer. He's a bookmaker who ran an illegal gambling business. Sports betting remains illegal in California. He counted the interpreter of Shohei as among his clients. Boyer is going to explain how he did it, says Thompson, how he hooked millionaire clients, where he went to look for them, how he lured them in, how he lured them to a sports book, and how he would keep them on the line even though they were getting in over their heads. Listeners will also hear from one of the investigators on the case. The first time people who actually have firsthand knowledge about what happened will talk about what they saw and why they came to the conclusions that they did. Is this going to turn badly for Shohei, or is it going to be more evidence suggesting that he had no idea?
I have no idea.
Because baseball wants this to go away.
Yeah, they back completely.
Baseball wants this to go away. Shohei Ohtani wants it to go away. Mm-hmm. They're gonna protect him. I'm not. There's some people that just flat out believe 100% that Shohei knew. I'm not there. I get the skepticism. Some people are acting like it's clear that he was the interpreter's the fall guy. I get why people believe that. I don't think it is as crystal clear as some people try to make it out to be.
I want to know how they got to that point, I guess. Yeah.
It is fair. Like, maybe none of us are in this spot to know. I feel like I would know if $3 million was missing from my bank account, even if I'm worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, obviously, for us, it's a bad example. You and I all notice if $15 is missing from our bank account. Like, hey, what was that $15 charge?
It could be the equivalent of like $300 being gone or something for $3 million.
But $3 million, just have no idea. Now, look, if it's a friend you're trusting, right, and he's managing your money, but man, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued about this podcast series. I wish it was an actual 30 for 30.
I do wish it was.
The podcast, yeah. That's going to be tougher for me to be interested in versus like an actual 30 for 30. But I'm sure there'll be some notes. I don't know. The Shohei Ohtani stuff, if there's anything more on him, it's more intriguing than knowing. Like, I'll be interested in hearing the process of it, but is there any new bombshell that makes it seem like Shohei Ohtani knew more than he let on?
Yeah, that would be wild.
Someone says, sounds like Shohei is cooked. I say the Royals sign him, give him a second chance. Yeah.
Sure.
Major League Baseball is going to make sure nothing happens to Shohei Ohtani. He's also just way more liked than some of the other recent gambling scandals. Terry Rozier was not like a fan favorite. It wasn't the face of the league. Brendan Sorsby is not the face of college football. I mean, Shohei Ohtani, this is a whole different ball game, no pun intended, like with Shohei.
Yeah.
Completely different. All right. Up next, let's get to what's trending and also talk about the NFL players that are trying to make a push for something that I don't believe they're going to be able to accomplish.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
That wreck really took everything off track.
Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Trained to push past the pain. Not athletes, just people. Men, women, and children trafficked every day in the United States. Sometimes by someone they trusted, sometimes by their own family. While millions watch the World Cup, they're fighting to survive in silence. Help us change that. Visit bluecampaign.gov/World Cup to help us break the silence.
If you're looking for a new job and to work for a great local company, Gann Asphalt and Concrete is hiring. Top pay in the industry, health, vision, dental insurance, paid time off, and advancement opportunities. Check them out at GannAsphalt.com. One contractor, all things parking lot. And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Baseball fans, the baseball season is in full swing, and FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is so easy. Just make your free pick on who's going to hit a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost on your next bet for a chance at even more winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. You know what? Jack Caglione, who was recently in the home run derby, I'm going to pick him to go yard. Maybe I'm going to go Jordan Walker. He won the home run derby in Philadelphia. So are you ready to play your game? All you need to do is head over to FanDuel.com/local to get started. One more time, that's FanDuel.com/local to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who you think is going to hit a home run. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issue with non-withdrawable profit boost. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. If you have breast, head and neck, or brain cancer, proton therapy may be a better treatment than conventional radiation. Don't wait. Get your second opinion at Kansas City Proton Institute. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced proton therapy team. Learn more at kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new.
Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Rob Sight Ford, KC's Ford volume leader and top rated on Google. 135th and State Line. Rob Sight Ford, your 2025 Ford volume leader. Top rated on Google with 4.8 stars and 3,000 plus reviews. The best selection, best prices, and Kansas City's best customer service. Visit Rob Sight Ford at 135th and State Line. Buy right, save big, and drive home a winner. Only at Rob Sight Ford.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti. Number one on what's trending, Spain wins the FIFA World Cup. We saw that yesterday over Argentina in extra time. Kylian Mbappe of France won the Golden Boot after Messi was goalless in the final. France was playing that third-place game on Saturday against England. But with that, man, 5.5 plus weeks or so, World Cup over. Got to wait a couple more years. Once again, 4 more years for the men. The Women's World Cup, though, coming up in 2027 down in Brazil.
It was fun. I admit it was fun. Kept you busy. The Royals should thank the World Cup because it kind of took pressure and stress away from them because get you right till training camp, right to the doorsteps of training camp, we put it that way. Speaking of the Royals, they lost yesterday, Gold. It was a very close one, 19-2 to the Padres. Won the first 2, and they lost a heartbreaker, 19-2 yesterday.
Yeah. Only good thing out of that one was Cags hit a home run. That was about it.
That was cool.
That was about it. They are back in action tonight. The Royals welcome in the San Francisco Giants this evening. Michael
rematch the 14 World Series, baby. Let's go.
That is true. Michael Walk on the bump. A lot of news and rumors around him. Of course, as we approach the August 3rd trade deadline tomorrow, I believe we're expected to have JJ Picollo on the show. So we'll check in post-draft and also the latest on some of the rumblings that are out there around a couple of their names that could be on the move. There's, of course, a debate on whether or not Walker should be somebody you're willing to trade looking at the 2027 rotation, but his name is going to continue to come up. 6:40 first pitch tonight. Vern's on deck show at 5:30. Elsewhere, the Open Championship wrapped up yesterday. Ryan Fox winning that by a stroke over Cameron Young. And there still seems to be more fallout after the Bryson DeChambeau controversy from the weekend where he was penalized. Rory had some pretty harsh words for him. Scheffler backed him up a little bit, basically saying, hey, he's a lot of things, Bryson is, but he's not a cheater. I think Bryson, though, threatening to withdraw from the tournament, though, that to me, like I'm not saying if you think you didn't break a rule, nobody expects you to just be completely quiet. I think he went overboard, but that was typical Bryson DeChambeau stuff.
Eli Drinkwitz spoke today at the SEC Media Days. They're doing it starting today. About Ahmad Hardy, who everybody wants to see how he's doing. Shot during the offseason. Quote, Ahmad has been medically cleared from the bullet that struck him, is on the road to recovery. Today was his first day back towards a full recovery. Then he says what that recovery will look like is still to be determined. Some are saying 5 to 8 weeks still, which we got 2 more weeks in July, 4 more weeks in August. So maybe the first game, the second game, that you can see him kind of ease. Jamal Roberts, the other Missouri running back who's a stud, went to the SEC Media Day. So they are covered in the backfield to kind of, wait till he's 100% ready to go.
Elsewhere, former NFL running back Le'Veon Bell was arrested in Ohio on a warrant tied to a child support case. This just came out earlier today. The attorney for Le'Veon Bell says that the running back has had trouble keeping up with his child support payments because the amount owed is based on what he earned on the NFL field during his career. Going on to say that 6 months ago, he cashed in an NFL pension to pay $50,000 in child support for the child.
Wow.
They're saying that some of the guidelines are inaccurate. The Michigan Attorney General's office got involved because of the amount of money owed in the case, which is what led to his arrest warrants.
Wow.
$50,000.
Woo. Negotiations continue between lawmakers and officials from the SEC and the Big Ten to cap conference membership at 19 schools. Because last week it was talked about that you couldn't expand anymore and require programs that move from one power league to another to operate as an independent for 5 years. Sources tell Yahoo Sports. That's significant.
Absolutely it is. And Ward Manuel
keeps teams from doing it.
Yeah, and Ward Manuel at Michigan stepping down at the end of the calendar year. That's what's trending. Someone texted in and says, don't forget, Caitlin Clark broke a record. No, it's significant. That was 3 days ago. We don't put in stuff usually from 3 days ago on what's trending. But yeah, absolutely, she did. She's the first player in WNBA history to record 40 points and 10 assists in a single game. So, but yeah, that's not on what's trending because that happened on like Friday afternoon, I think, or Friday night or something like that. So that's what it is. That's what's trending.
And also what's trending is Cody Tapp continues trying to get a trailer.
He's back tomorrow. I'm going to ask him about this trailer. I'm sure he's going to ask me about the Dominican Republic and the potential kidnapping and everything as well. So
interesting week for both of you.
I would say so.
Trailer and death.
I would say so. I appreciate you filling in, Bink. I appreciate you filling in. You guys could always interact, 913-586-7965. Jay Southland, Tow Service text line, video stream up and running on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. So we all know the World Cup wrapped up, and you noticed they were all on the same grass surface. It was perfect. It was beautiful to see, whether you're at Arrowhead or MetLife Stadium. We'll use the names of the stadium, even if FIFA won't allow them to. But FIFA did pressure these owners into doing something we know they didn't want to do, and that is having a grass surface. Now, I get it. Kansas City always has a grass surface, but that's not the case at MetLife Stadium. And so NFL players over the weekend had a social media push with the hashtag we're worth it or we're worth the cost or whatever. And look, they're correct. The players are 100% correct on the ridiculousness of the owners willing to do it for this, but not for them.
Yeah, 100%.
But other than putting pressure and hear us talking about it as well and making fans aware of it, I don't think anything's changing unless this goes to a CBA. So, and this is where the owners always kind of win, Bink, because you watch the next CBA, one of the big things the NFL players are going to ask for is grass surfaces. And meanwhile, the NFL's
got grass.
That's my point. No, yeah, that's my point. Like back then, they asked, "Please don't test us for weed." The owners are like, "Okay, but give us an extra game." Yeah. So what? The trade-off is an extra game for grass playing surfaces one day.
Now they'll come back with their grass version.
This is the problem that the NFLPA always runs into. Is I'm not saying it's not a big deal to have grass surfaces. It is because it can help prevent some injuries, but if that's the big chip you're willing to play with when the owners are going to be asking you to play in an extra game, that's not a fair trade-off. And then the owners might even be like, sure, we'll do that for an extra game. The owners don't want grass because it's more money and because they want to turn over these stadiums for concerts the next night and the next big event.
I just think, honestly, the players where they kind of lose things on them with the owners, the salary cap in 2020 was $198 million.
Mm-hmm.
This $79.2 million. The year before, $255 million. What I'm saying is this thing is easily going to hit $300 million here soon.
Oh, yeah.
They keep raising the cap. They keep raising their money, so they are putting it back into them. That's one thing they can levy is ammunition.
Yeah, I mean,
But the players are right, though. Just make it protect your commodities, man. Protect your commodities.
The World Cup has put the owner. I mean, it's hard for the owners to wiggle their way through this deal and try to claim that it's not anything more than money. Like, you know, we've now just seen firsthand when money was on the line and benefit of you were willing to put in a grass field in a lot of these cities that don't have a grass playing surface. And save me on the weather argument, right? Like here in Kansas City, we've had one of the coldest playoff games in a long time. And props to the Arrowhead grounds crew. Like, the field has not been a problem. Nope. The field always looks amazing in Kansas City. So don't save me on, you can't do that in the Midwest or you can't do that in, these other cities. Green Bay has grass playing surface. Kansas City has grass playing surface. So this idea that they can't have a grass playing surface elsewhere is crazy. MetLife in particular is the one that is absurd. And I understand they got two football teams, but no, they want it because they want to have all these concerts.
Yes, it's multi-use. They want to use the facilities to make money, but clearly we can see how good these grounds crews do in the National Football League or baseball anywhere and get these fields ready to go. With the drainage system now, it's all so much different, so much more advanced for these fields. You could do it. To me, it just makes sense, though, for the owners even. Protect your commodities. You don't want to lose a player that you're paying $30+ million for because of your turf.
You would think it'd be that simple. I'm with you. I mean, you would think that would be real. But
taking care of the fields. Remember all the complaints in Pittsburgh, like the Steelers, even though it is grass, because the pit using it and everybody else, that all the players are getting hurt. And it's like, that ought to be the number one priority. What can I do to ensure the safety of my guys? Not only the players that are playing, but my guys that are going to be there at least for 8 or 9 games during the season. How can I make this go as smoothly as possible? Because that's a lot of money you're paying these players. So you would think they'd be top of the list, top of the priority list.
It should be. I just don't. Even though it got talked about a ton this weekend with the players, I just don't think it's going to change. That's the sad reality. Unless we get to the next CBA, I don't know when's the next CBA expire. That's the only other time, or the next time. Remember, the NFL has talked about trying to revisit the CBA earlier because they want to add an additional game or more international.
Well, their big thing this year was the officials. They had to get that kind of shored up. So that's kind of where their focus had been on.
That is true. That is very much true.
But they're thinking about even more international games. You see that? They're thinking about Japan and other places.
Of course, they're going to go. We're going to have one on every continent and everything here.
Look at all the days of the week that they're playing now. It's the NFL churning out money. The days of I tease Mac about it all the time because there's a fantasy football show here.
Yeah,
I tease him that there's some weeks you don't have a ton of games. On Sunday because they're played Wednesday or Thursday or
Mac is
Christmas
very
week. What's that?
I don't know, Drew was saying something. I'm not sure.
No, I'm just saying it changes because there's so many weekday games now that Sunday, do you have your full slate of games?
What was that, Drew? I didn't know what you said.
What were you talking about?
Mac is very big.
Oh, you mentioned Mac, and Drew wanted to comment, talk about Mac.
You haven't heard that yet, Bink?
Well, no. Was that from you?
That was Drew. Yeah,
you haven't heard that Mac is very big?
Why would you say that? And why would you continue to play it? Like, seriously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do it to yourself there, man, with those sound bites. I mean,
I know what I did.
Because usually you jack with me or Gold or something, and it's like we laugh at you or whatever. But don't
says,
self-incriminate yourself.
Someone says Antarctica. You said every continent. Yeah, honestly, yes. Honestly, yes. Yeah.
Ice Bowl.
Yeah, honestly, you know what? I wouldn't put it past the NFL. Why not?
Dominican.
Everywhere. Yeah, they can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my goodness.
You go back.
I would for that. Yeah. No, we've told the story. Honestly, I had a great time on the trip, but that was a scenario that could have been way worse in the Dominican Republic with the with the woman at the bar or the club or whatever. But in general, Punta Cana, everybody was very nice. Sure, seriously, all jokes aside with the other stuff, but everybody was super nice at the resort. It was great. Had a good time with some friends down there. And I would recommend if anybody is thinking about going to Punta Cana, for sure go. Although I would say this time of the year, and it's kind of the same for any Caribbean destination, the seaweed was pretty bad this time in July.
The what?
Seaweed.
Oh, what happened on the flight? You said there was a problem on the flight.
Oh, not a problem, but Drew knows. So this happens now every time.
There's a trend.
Every time I fly, other than the people taking their shoes off, which is ridiculous, on the plane. That also happens.
Did it happen again?
Yes.
Oh, no.
On the flight out. Not completely... Not sockless as well. That happened, but shoeless. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, no, I keep getting. I have TSA pre-check and the new touchless TSA, which is nice. They just scan your face and you walk in. It's awesome. So I had on my flight out last Monday morning. It was an early 5 a.m. flight. Okay, so it's like 3:30 at the airport, right? So so I go through I go through the TSA thing. I got the touchless thing. They scan my face. I walk in. I'm putting my stuff in the bin or whatever, my bag. And I was like, hey, I don't have to take off my belt, right? They're like, no, you're good. So I walk through, and then they go, actually, we lied. You're going to have to because you've been randomly selected. Drew knows this from when Cody and I just went to Pittsburgh a couple months ago. Every time I fly, I'm the person that gets the random selection. What is that? Random my ass. Why is it happening? I understand they're trying to keep people safe, but I swear, disproportionately, I'm getting randomly screened leaving KCI or Pittsburgh last time around. I don't know why.
You've been flying out a lot, apparently, I guess.
I don't know what's happening.
Sounds like you were screening the bar, too.
They have more data on me. Heck, they got my face and everything. Yeah. All the biometric data in the world they got locked in. They could find me anywhere in the world.
But other than that, smooth flight, everything went,
Yeah, all the flights were great. On time. Yeah. Shout out to American Airlines. It was fine. But I'm just saying that, I don't know, I keep getting randomly screened. Someone says you look shady.
5 a.m. What time did you get back here?
So I left Monday morning. I came back late Friday night.
Okay.
It was a quick trip.
Yeah.
It was a quick trip. The Punta Cana airport is, you want to talk about the slowest process, though, leaving Punta Cana. They're old school with their checking. You still have to take off your shoes and everything there in order to go through the customs and everything, or their screening. I don't know if it's not TSA down there, whatever.
Well, it sounds like they're ready for a flight then. The shoes are already off.
Yeah. No, everything was smooth. The food, for the most part, was all right. We were at a resort, which was all-inclusive or whatever, and there was a few meals that were all right. I told you the only scare was you're supposed to use bottled water, like when you're in Mexico or the DR or whatever, and same thing in the Bahamas. And most of the restaurants would pour a bottle, like open a bottle right in front of you and pour it in your glass. Great. Yeah. No problem. One of the days we chose to do the buffet. We never went back to the buffet after this. But they poured water out of a pitcher. And I didn't think anything at the time. But in hindsight, I'm like, there's no way they actually poured a bottle of water in the pitcher. So that one of my friends we went to, we both had about 6+ hours of some stomach problems because of that. It was not fun.
Would they know better than do that? I mean,
that's what I would have thought.
That should be like one of the rules. I mean,
yeah, I would have thought so. That's the only thing I can think. What else would have caused me for 6 hours to get sick?
No, people are crapping their pants here like crazy because that thing going around. But
yeah, that's that stuff is a bit scary. I've seen that with and then you see the false alarm. They blame some company in Colorado, and then now the FDA said false positive. So it wasn't the farm that.
So we don't know where
we still don't know where it's actually coming from.
Okay.
But people that have ate Taco Bell have said it's, they've gotten sick there, but they don't know the source, the lettuce or whatever.
Wonderful.
Someone says, Gold on the flying. More than likely, you share a name with an individual that is on the no-fly list. Happens every time to a friend of mine. The randomness is not random. I agree that at this point, I don't think it's random.
Maybe it's that other Gold.
the other, yeah. I don't know. Someone says, welcome back. Don't eat the lettuce. I had lettuce yesterday, though, from Chipotle on my Chipotle bowl.
Be careful of produce.
Yeah. Well, I remember many years ago we had the whole lettuce problem as well. So I don't know.
That one, I don't know if it was as brutal as this one.
So are you avoiding lettuce anyway?
Yes.
You truly are. Okay.
Yep.
I know some restaurants
were not. 15 years.
I know. I know
crazy.
there's some restaurants that are not like even offering it anymore. But I think didn't Taco Bell say they're taking lettuce off the?
I'm not sure, but I think they're smart to do that.
Someone else said, Gold, you also missed. A resident here was drunk and fell in parking lot. Police and ambulance came to take him to the hospital. Someone else says the porta potty guy. I did see the story about that. Yeah. I did see the porta potty guy. He was on something clearly, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And they had to hose him off with a fire hose.
Well, it got to be a
he was naked. He was naked in the porta potty.
Yeah.
Looking for a Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Remember the Chiefs used to have the porta potty drill? We talked about that.
Yes, they did.
It's good drills.
I still can't get over the video and the story about the porta potty thing, though. That's crazy to me.
Stay away from vegetables and fruits.
So this is the work for a food service distribution company. The company they're investigating is Taylor Farms. Yeah, but I know it was a Taylor Farm thing, but they came out today and said it was a false positive. Doesn't mean, I guess, they're fully clear, but that the original test was not correct. So now they don't know for sure.
The key is you should eat cheeseburgers and donuts.
But
cheeseburger might have lettuce on it.
You might get lettuce on your
just
cheeseburger.
asking for no lettuce.
Well,
cheeseburger, no
now,
lettuce. Eat that, eat donuts, eat a bunch of crap, and just everybody get fat for a couple of weeks.
Nobody's ever got food poisoning from donuts, is what you're telling me.
Damn right.
Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're telling me?
Because they want you to eat those donuts.
Might be fat, but you're going to be healthy fat that doesn't crap your pants.
Someone says they're on the text line. Their wife is a manager at a chain restaurant. They have canceled all their lettuce and broccoli off their menu. I didn't know. Wait, now I can't have broccoli either? Any produce.
For now, I guess, until it's cleared.
The worst is the fruit. The fruit that you consume, like an apple. Mm-hmm. I'm staying away from apples.
Because even washing it doesn't do any good.
Yeah, I'm staying away from apples, like any berries. Like a banana you're not eating the.
I tell you, we rode a banana boat in the DR.
Will Levis.
It's a bad time to be on a diet, but go ahead.
We rode a banana boat in the on the DR.
Oh, that'd be fun.
In the ocean, and they intentionally flipped us over, which we didn't know was about to happen.
That'd be fun.
All of a sudden, we all just started leaning because basically you're holding on to this banana boat thing, and all of a sudden the boat that was hauling us turns the opposite direction, and so it's about like you're about to get screwed because he's going to gun it that way, and he did, and we all just slowly leaned over and dunked into the ocean.
Did you parasail?
I have done it before. I hate heights, so I was never doing that again. I parasailed in Miami back in 2000 and I don't know, 10 maybe. I'm never doing it again. But they had parasailing, they had tubing, they had all that kind of stuff. They had a catamaran. You could go out if you're willing to pay $30 for a lesson. Then you could go out as much as you want on a catamaran. We did not do that. We sail into Trinidad and Tobago before I know it accidentally, not knowing where the catamaran's going.
Well, last year you went to Bahamas, right? For your getaway.
November, yeah. I went in November.
Where are you going to go this time? What's
I probably won't. Well, in-season trip is L.A.
I mean, off-season trip.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I just got back.
All-Star game trip.
I have no idea. Yeah. Next summer, I don't know. My friends that went with me, they were already talking about other South American or Caribbean countries.
Costa Rica, it seems to be a popular
one of them wanted to go to Colombia. I don't know if I'm sold on going to Bogota.
What about the Grand Cayman Islands?
I would go to the Cayman Islands. That'd be fun. Cancun, I've never been, so that's on the list. We got plenty of time on that.
That's another don't drink the water one.
Yeah, any of those countries, I feel like you can't drink the water if you're coming from the United States or something.
You ever been to Topeka?
Yeah, I worked there for a little while, Bink.
Saying.
Have you been?
Yeah.
What made you bring up Topeka? Did you just read something?
No, I just always ask somebody when they're vacation.
When they're on vacation, you always ask them about Topeka, Kansas?
Yeah, whenever they send, they have these pictures of sunsets and oceans and stuff. Oh, it's like Topeka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Topeka.
That's your favorite spot, huh?
No.
You're a big fan.
It sounds like you are. Did you have is that where, going back to earlier in the show, is that where you had your strip club experience?
Drew, I've been to strip clubs in probably 17 states. Topeka, no.
17 states.
I believe him, by the way. I fully believe
Two countries.
I believe that as well.
2 countries.
What country?
Canada.
Okay.
In the U.S.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you meant like two other countries.
It was across the border. It was Detroit and Windsor.
People are now recommending San Juan, Puerto Rico, Colombia. There were a lot of people at the resort that were from Colombia, by the way. That was what was really surprising. The resort in particular we were at, Bink, a lot of the people that we were definitely the minority at the resort. Very few Americans. There was not even that many Europeans. It was a lot of Dominicans must have been traveling from within their own country, and then also a lot from Colombia. Tons of people from Portugal for whatever reason. It was a big trip for them or whatever.
Ronaldo fans.
Sure. That was one thing I will say. I guess I didn't mention today when we were talking about the World Cup. That was really neat. They did have, because it was the semifinal matches were in the middle of the afternoon, Argentina, England. And so they had a huge amphitheater at the resort and they had a watch party for it.
Cool.
And so you had, I would say 30% of the crowd rooting for Argentina and the rest were either England or everybody else. Because what I learned very quickly that people from Portugal, Colombia, they couldn't stand Argentina, right? They all wanted them to lose. Yeah. And so I think I posted the video, and maybe it's gone.